Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Pokémon starts with binding the Dragon God system. Chapter 81. After giving instructions for the aftermath, Lin Qing looked towards Qingliu City with an indifferent face, as if thinking about something. He had no parents in his previous life, but fortunately he had a biological mother in this life, and she was very kind to him. How dare they murder the people around him? It seems that there is no need to keep the Yi family. He, Lin Qing, was not someone to be trifled with in his previous life. In this world, if you want to hurt his mother and take his wife, that's embarrassing. When he thought that the Yi family actually wanted Lin Baiwei, that fool, to marry his wife, Zyrna, Lin Qing's eyes began to become cold. Lin Baiwei was a few years older than Lin Qing. It can be said that Lin Qing was mostly influenced by Lin Baiwei when he was a child. Lin Qing was playful when he was young and lustful when he grew up. But he didn't kill anyone. This Lin Baiwei is different. He is extremely vicious and has killed countless people. On the surface, he looks like a young and promising young man. He now holds an important position in the Qingliu City Alliance. At the age of 23, he is already the captain of the law enforcement team. He has cultivated several professional elves well. He has some power in both the black and white worlds. If Lin Qing wants to eat up the Lin family that persecuted his biological mother and destroy the Yi family that wants to take his wife, this Lin Baiwei must not be kept. If he eats up these two families, he is destined to become the first wealthy family in Qingliu City. No one will be able to shake his position, and the cooperation channels of the Xiluo family will naturally be nailed there. Then Lin Qing silently took out a cigarette and lit it with an indifferent look. After the cigarette was in his mouth, his face was thoughtful. After he could read other people's thoughts, he quickly recognized the reality. Then he exhaled a puff of smoke and silently said to the sky, "This world may be as disgusting as the previous world. Those who regard me as a lamb are destined to become my stepping stone." At this moment, Lin Qing seemed to have turned into a cold and venomous snake, looking at Qingliu City with extremely cold eyes. Qingliu City Elf Academy. Today, Sharona is still wearing a black windbreaker as usual, with her golden hair blowing in the morning breeze of the school, looking particularly charming. Mary, wait for me, really, what happened these days? Why don't you reply to the message? Sharona caught up with Mary in front of her and asked with concern. Since Lin Qing returned to the villa, this lowly who clearly distinguished between gratitude and resentment went back home to live. She hated seeing Lin Qing, and her brother Mark had some problems these days. Nothing, Nana, I was wrong before. I shouldn't have interfered with your and your husband's affairs. Recently, there are some things going on at home, and I'm a little upset. Mary said helplessly. Is it about your brother? Well, his company was acquired by Longye Company, Limited, and he is unemployed. I have to find some part-time jobs. I will go to the Elf Hunter Center to take the assessment tonight, and there is no income at home. Hearing this, Sharona was stunned and wanted to speak immediately, but was blocked by Mary. I know your family is rich, but I just want to rely on ourselves. Okay. Mary stuffed a bun into Sharona's mouth directly, and said seriously, not allowing anyone to refuse. Well, I'll go to the Pokémon Hunter Center with you tonight. I also want to improve my Pokémon's combat ability. Is that okay? Okay, there's another girl from another class tonight, her name is Mei, I'm a new friend, we'll go together then. The two of them came to the classroom supporting each other, and this morning they saw Lin Qing for the first time. How could this man think of coming to school? Wife, Mary, good morning, Lin Qing greeted Sharona with a sunny face, looking like a model student. Why did you think of coming to school? Aren't you busy? I just wanted to come and see. It's said that there will be a monthly exam the day after tomorrow. After the monthly exam, don't you have to participate in the Qingliu City League? I remember it in my heart, the Pokémon you want. Sharona walked in gently and sat down, feeling sweet in her heart. She liked that he could remember everything she said. Mary in front looked at Lin Qing, didn't want to pay attention to him, and then sat down. Ju zai ma li gang gang zuo sha de na yi ke, qian mian ju chu xian li ge wei shi tian go, na ge ji qian bei zhong hu zhou guo de zhong yi, wu dang pai zhong men ren de sun zi, la ba ya lian guo tai ji de na ge. Ma li, wo I ni, zuo wo nu peng yu ba, Wo yuan yi wei ni ku si. Zhang yi da zhao shang ju na jie kong shui xiao hua yuan li kai sha li de yi duo hua song le guo lai. Ma li yi lian nao huo, jie gei nan shang, mei tian do yao zan jie ta. Zhen nao zi bei men ji le shida. Bai. Ma li y jie zui, yu shi yi ju bai song le chu ku. Zhang yi hao shang bei ma shi guan le shida, yi lian wu sua wei de tai le guo lai. Mary, I can die for you. Be my girlfriend. Then you go die. Zhang Yi was embarrassed for a while. He said a little shyly, if I die, I can't be with you. I'm just making an analogy. Just then, Zhang Hu and his friends from the Five Tigers came in. As soon as they entered the classroom, they saw Zhang Yi who had hit them with Li Qiu before, and they didn't dare to do it anymore. He had been hit several times. Big brother. Wang Chuang was still very sharp-eyed and screamed directly. The girl who was drinking soy milk next to him was so scared that she sprayed. Big brother. Good morning. Lin Qing looked at these 5 talents and sighed helplessly at the time. He now had the idea of cultivating his own confidence. Zhang Hu and his friends did have problems with their character, and he was also considering it. When we go to class later, I will try to find out what they think. If they really want to be with him, I can use some training. As the bell rang, the head teacher Karen came in. Looking at the bad leader Lin Qing sitting at the back of the classroom, she was also worried. The class has been so peaceful recently, just don't make trouble for this guy. Looking at Lin Qing, who was about the same, I also tried to sense the thoughts of the 5 tigers next to me. Zhang Hu, big brother is here. Do you want to arrange a woman tonight? That girl named Mei seems pretty good. Let's see tonight. If it doesn't work, trick the head teacher Karen over. I think the head teacher is pretty good. If it doesn't work, the female dean. Wang Chuang. I don't know what the unicorn ate yesterday, and it was full of pee all over the floor. Is this guy going to die? I feel like my stomach hurts a bit. I want to poop. As the saying goes, when you have diarrhea, don't believe any farts. Any fart may bring out poop. Hold your breath, calm down, hold it back. Big brother is here, I can't fart. Lin Qing just stood there, with an extremely complicated expression. Let the car hit these guys and kill them. Then he tried to sense Mary in front of him. When Lin Qing began to find out Mary's thoughts, he was also numb. I don't know how my brother is doing. Should I call him over to take the hunter test in the evening? I'm afraid that Lin Qing, the rookie, will come to make trouble. Nana will have to protect him at that time. It's so annoying. Just then, the head teacher on the stage patted the blackboard and shouted, monthly exam. Classmates, those who can't keep up with some courses, hurry up these days. Exam content, Pokémon Basic Theory Test, Field Experience Test, come on. Lin Qing was slightly stunned. Next, he helped his wife Sharona get the Togepi, and then paid attention to the situation of his Pokémons. If Xiaoxia tried to communicate with it, it should be better, right? I think so. And the Pokémons who had already started special training at home also entered the state. Except for a guy with a bright brain. After seeing Sharona leave in the morning, Xiaoxia only practiced for 10 minutes and covered his stomach to tell the Inspector Huhu that he had diarrhea and needed to go to the toilet. This is not in a hidden bush where no one cares. Little Shark took his mobile phone and tried to enter the previous URL again. He was looking forward to the next episode of Sister Lip. But after entering the URL, a few words appeared on the screen, cannot display the web page. After changing a few URLs, it still couldn't open. Little Shark was stunned for a while. It must be Lin Qing who did it. Little Shark, with an annoyed face, began to try to find a new world to see if there were any new things. After searching for a long time, several software ads appeared. 40-year-old sister is waiting for you to flirt, please click the link below. Singles, please download the Love Fish app. Super strong aphrodisiac, let you revive your manliness. Now you can also get a pound of wolfberry when you place an order. Qingliu City Male Surgery Hospital. Half price for the second circumcision. Bring your painful friend. After taking a look, Little Shark downloaded a Love Fish app. With a little yearning and curiosity for human love, he clicked in. Please select an age group. Little Shark thought about it, clicked 15 to 25 years old, located in Qingliu City, and can meet in person. Then it put the photo of Lin Qing that it had secretly taken before as its avatar, and gave it an online name, Zhang I Lang Xiao. Soon, the chat window rang. CPDD, you are the only one, I am Zhang I Xiao Taohong, looking for a good brother. So the harmless little shark replied to the other party, single, can flirt, can be a wolf, can be a milk. Slowly, little shark's expression changed. It became a little abnormal. I don't know what the other party sent it. But one thing is certain, it has started an unknown online love, that is, I don't know if the other party is the kind of divorced with 2 children. And Huhu, who was at the training ground, saw that little shark had been out for an hour, and he came out with some worry to find the round land shark that had been pooping for an hour. But when it came to the yard, it seemed to find 2 sneaky people, still masked. A red-haired woman in white clothes looked at the courtyard with an indignant look and said, Xiaojiro. Is this the rich family you mentioned? I don't think it's that good. There are only a few walkers in the yard. Don't worry, Musashi. It can't be wrong. I have been watching for several days. The owner of this house is out today. There is also a top-quality round land shark in this house. It will definitely be praised by Boss Banmu. Promoted to cadre, as chief cadre. I think it's better to come at night, meow, it's still a bit risky during the day. Boss Banmu asked us to come here to establish a branch, so we'd better be safe. Meow. So nice. Huhu looked at it with a puzzled look, not knowing whether these people were good or bad people. It looked at the alarm that Lin Qing gave it, and hesitated for a while. At this time, Xiaoxia, who was lazy at work and took a shit for more than an hour, looked at the time and planned to go back to avoid being reported by Huhu. Kojira next to him exclaimed, look, the shining quasi-god round land shark. Meow Meow's eyes have become like gold coins, and she said excitedly, quick. Hurry up, Meow. Haha, let me Musashi take good care of it. Go, ABO monster. Use the ram attack, Musashi said, and released her elf. An elite ABO monster rushed towards the little shark with its mouth wide open as soon as it came out. Shark. The little shark turned around and saw the ABO monster, then used a Rasengan to hit the face and took it away in one move. At this time, Huhu next to him also pressed the alarm, and the whole yard suddenly rang, and the woman who heard the news came over. The bodyguards also rushed over with their elves. Who are you? Xie Wenwen looked at the other party with a vigilant face. Musashi Kojiro was stunned when he heard the words, then he stood up immediately and started the most classic line with confidence. Since you ask sincerely, then I will tell you mercifully. In order to prevent. But before the two of them finished speaking, Xiaoxia used the newly realized Wind Phantom Slash to attack directly. The violent energy slash directly cut the lawn and attacked them. Musashi said nervously, my god, what kind of skill is this? Meow Meow was killed instantly and fainted on the spot. Seeing that the situation was not good, Kojira directly released a gas bomb and a smoke attack, and the two pulled Meow Meow away instantly. The action was extremely fast, flowing like water. We will come back. Wait for us. At this time, Lin Qing also received news that there was a thief in his house, but when he turned on his phone and saw the familiar face in the surveillance. Ah, Musashi, Kojira. Lin Qing took the phone and began to ponder. If there is even Yulongdu, then other characters will definitely appear one after another. Since we want to cultivate power, should we give priority to official characters? Thinking of this, Lin Qing was also excited. I wonder how old Zia is. He should not be old enough to go out for training. It's hard to say. After all, Zia's face is not old, and he has been 10 years old in TV for 20 years. And Guhao, Shinji and others. Just when Lin Qing was thinking about how to find his confidant, the bell rang. Although school is not over yet, Lin Qing doesn't want to stay anymore. Baozi, I'm home. Take me with you to the Pokémon Hunter Center tonight. You must take me with you. Okay. Okay. After leaving the school, Lin Qing turned invisible and flew into the sky to look for Musashi and the others. If he could subdue them, it would definitely be a great help. But what he didn't know was that even Team Rocket's boss Banmu was here this time. After Lin Qing returned home, he began to look for the Musashi trio, but he didn't find them after searching for a long time, and he felt a little disappointed. I seem to be a little sleepy. I didn't sleep last night. When he thought about his wife Serona going to the secret realm at night, he was a little worried. He was worried, so he thought about going back to make up for the sleep. Before that, let's go and see the training of the elves. So Lin Qing bought a lot of elf food and energy blocks from the Universal Store and walked towards the underground training ground. As soon as he arrived, he saw Charmeleon doing skill accuracy training there. Several moving iron targets in the field had been burned black by Charmeleon's jet attack. Baby Dragon was practicing ghost face in front of the mirror, looking a little silly. Latias was flying slowly in the sky with a heavy load-bearing armor on his back, obviously a little strenuous because this load-bearing armor was specially made. But Little Shark sat on the ground with his eyes closed, which looked a bit strange in the scene. Lin Qing also looked at it curiously. Is this guy comprehending some new skills? There are also light blue energy fluctuations around him. It seems to have entered a mysterious state. Lin Qing did not disturb him. No matter how noisy it was, he still had to care about it. He took the food and sat beside the pot and watched. Generally speaking, Little Shark is still very reliable if he doesn't make trouble. But Lin Qing watched for a long time. Except for Little Shark, the other elves were very hardworking. Why is it still sitting there with its eyes closed? Wait, what's on its nose? Lin Qing looked at it in surprise. A green snot bubble was stirring there, one big and one small. Just when Lin Qing was about to wake it up, he noticed the energy fluctuations on its body again. This, isn't it the skill of sleeping? A magical skill that can restore all HP and cure abnormal conditions. So, abnormal, didn't I just comprehend a skill yesterday? Lin Qing walked over in surprise and saw the phone next to Xiaoxia. He saw that there was a video explaining the sleeping skill on the phone screen. He didn't rely on the skill disc, but just on the explanation. He comprehended it. Comprehending a skill in one day. Isn't this beyond the scope of quasi-gods? What kind of comprehension ability is this? Is it because it has watched TV and martial arts dramas like a child since childhood, and has a very high comprehension ability for moves? Lin Qing subconsciously touched its head, and Xiaoxia also felt something and continued to sleep on his hand. Lin Qing felt warm in his heart. Isn't this cute? If he makes trouble every day and focuses on cultivation, he might have evolved. It seems that more encouragement is needed. Friends, come and take a break. You've all worked hard. As soon as he heard about the break, the little shark woke up immediately, and his snot bubble burst directly, hitting Lin Qing's hand. The little shark thought that Lin Qing was going to punch it, and just when he wanted to hide, Lin Qing picked it up. I didn't care about you enough before. Do you think I'm irresponsible and play with your phone to find something to do? Little shark. Lin Qing looked at his natal elf kindly, with a face full of concern. The little shark was stunned at first, then looked down, and saw that Lin Qing had half of his foot on his phone. He immediately threw a Rasengan and hit Lin Qing's bare face, who was still smiling. Little shark. What the hell are you laughing at? You're sick. Lin Qing's nose was bleeding, and he looked annoyed. This fool still can't be treated well. Calm down. Sharona told me to treat the elves as family. I just need to be nice to them, they will definitely respond to me. I thought so. Ah, my cell phone. Before Lin Qing finished thinking, the other party's second Rasengan came. Are you a dog? Lin Qing was furious. Lin Qing, who was just thinking about strengthening the father-son relationship, now condensed his dragon claws and hit the little shark. The elves eating food behind were also used to it. No one looked back. Each of them took a can of milk and drank it. Latias also took a bottle for Charmeleon, which made Charmeleon happy. They leaned together like good friends and ate. Baby Dragon was murmuring as he stuffed food into his mouth. Hoo-hoo leaned forward and heard Baby Dragon still imitating in a low voice, "Da-mai, da-mai. Da-mai da. This child is useless." In the afternoon, Mary had called 2 people to wait at the Elf Hunter Center. One was Mary's brother Mark, and the other was May, who was also a first-year student. Now they were waiting for Sharona to go to the Elf Hunter Center together. But Mark was walking back and forth with a worried look on his face. He looked at his sister again. Sister Mary said with an unhappy face, "Mary, are you telling the truth? Will that fool Lin Qing come over later?" Well, recently, he has been acting like a troublemaker because his family bought him around Land Shark. He has been restrained recently and has not bothered me. Tisk. If he drags me down tonight, I don't want to bother him. Just as they were talking, Sirona also came over in a dusty manner, and greeted them kindly as soon as she came. Hello everyone, sorry for waiting. When Mary saw Sirona coming, she happily put one hand on her waist and raised the other hand and shouted loudly, Sister Nana. Are you here? Let me introduce you. This is my brother Mark. And this sister is Mei. Hello, nice to meet you, my name is Sirona. Hello, X2. After everyone got to know each other, Mary looked behind Sirona again, and it seemed that she did not find Lin Qing's figure. He will be here soon. He is still dueling with his land shark at home, let's go in and do the assessment first. He is already a blue level hunter, no need to wait for him. Mei Yi was stunned when she heard this, duel with your own elf. So hardworking, no wonder he is a blue elf hunter. Mary, who was next to her, interrupted her innocence directly, he must have paid for it. This person is the one I told you about before. LSP. Sharona laughed twice with an embarrassed face, but there was nothing she could do, because her husband had treated her before. The protagonist's personality collapsed again. While they were going to do the assessment task, our loving father and filial son Lin Qing and Land Shark were playing the second half of the finals at home. Although the little shark could not beat Lin Qing, who was already a master dragon god body, it slept to recover after being beaten, and then came again. Lin Qing finally understood. This guy learned to sleep because he wanted to play a protracted war with him, and he realized it in order to deal with him. What hatred and grudge. Little Shark had used his sleeping skill to recover 7 or 8 times in the afternoon, and he was determined to defeat Lin Qing once to avenge his inability to watch the next episode of Sister Mikan. Ah, are you coming again? Lin Qing was reluctant to kill him. His master level was 2 levels higher than Xiaoxia. If he was not careful and beat Xiaoxia to brain palsy, he would probably be scolded to death by readers. His character was not very good. Do you believe that I will take your phone? Lin Qing was also convinced. At the beginning, he suspected that his brain was kicked by Kentaro. Why buy a phone for a Pokémon? What a sin. If you don't kill him, it will be knocked unconscious and wake up and directly activate the sleeping skill, and then come back to beat you with full status. Moreover, this guy's moves are getting more and more vicious, from the face-to-face attack at the beginning, to the Black Tiger's Heart Digger later, and now he can even steal peaches like a monkey. Put a Rasengan directly into your crotch. Can you bear it? The most terrible thing is that this guy has mastered the law of space, and he can come out of the Pokeball by himself. You can't lock it up. This kind of loach-like fighting style made Lin Qing extremely angry, but he also thought that this little shark itself needs motivation. It wants to steal your peaches every day, which can stimulate its training indirectly. It can also stimulate its desire to become stronger. If there is no hatred or resentment, according to its previous nature, it will definitely order takeout and watch TV at home. That would be useless. If the little shark can stimulate its potential, Lin Qing is also willing to sacrifice eggs to accompany the gentleman. Let it steal peaches. It's okay to become stronger. It is estimated that Lin Qing is the only genius trainer among all the time travelers who is on guard against his own elves stealing his peaches every day. By blocking the opponent's small website, the other party will have endless hatred, and work hard to train just to beat you up. Thinking of this, Lin Qing smiled contemptuously. It seems that all the conditions for the little shark to become stronger are met. Quasi-god body plus demon comprehension ability plus deep hatred plus strong enemy Lin Qing. Now just think of a strategy to deal with it once. Lin Qing had a plan at that time. He still has 2 trump cards in his hand. One is Xiaoxia's dream lover Zhao Hong, and the other is Xiao Mei, who wants to lay eggs for Xiaoxia. Lin Qing smiled evilly, can't he cure you? So Lin Qing stopped attacking, looked at Xiaoxia who was still screaming on the opposite side and said, no more fighting. Tonight, Sharona will take Zhao Hong to the secret realm, I have to go now. If I go too late, Zhao Hong will be kidnapped by a dragon in the wild, it will be troublesome. Xiaoxia was stunned when he heard the words, and the Rasengan in his hand exploded directly on the spot, without any pain at all. Now it has seen that Lin Qing is going to go out, Xiaoxia panicked, won't he take me? This shark is so awesome. Let's take Charmeleon today. He hasn't seen Zhao Hong yet. We will be companions in the future, let's get to know each other. Lin Qing said and put Charmeleon into the Pokeball, looking ready to go out at any time, which stunned Xiaoxia. Can't it be true? You won't take me with you. The little shark was confused and a little flustered. It waved nervously at Lin Qing, but Lin Qing didn't seem to see it at all and just left. At that time, it jumped up and screamed with all its strength, "Ah! Dad, take me." Lin Qing turned around and sneered, "Fighting with me?" The implication was that he still didn't want to take it with him. The little shark was scared and raised its pokeball with a flattering face, his eyes narrowed into crescents. Then it handed it to Lin Qing, looking harmless. Lin Qing looked at the pokeball in his hand with contempt, and then looked at it. "Why should I take you if you don't listen? Go over and make trouble." "Shark, Dad, take me." "Oh, that's it." Lin Qing obviously saw the other party's intention and planned to directly use a soul lock. "If you don't listen, stay at home. You may go to the secret realm and compete with Sharona every day. Zhao Hong must be taken with you. I'm asking Melodic to come and train with you. I think you're pretty good. I can't even cure you." Little Shark was stunned when he heard this. It seemed that he was going to kill him. He shouted in panic, "Shark, Shark! You are my father, father, take me." 10 minutes later, Lin Qing, a kind father and filial son, set off with Little Shark. It is unknown what they said later. Sharona and the other 4 have already accepted the Hunter's Assessment Commission and headed towards Qingliu Forest west of Qingliu City. Mary was trying to persuade her brother along the way, because she was raised by her brother since she was a child. She had just broken up with her girlfriend not long ago and is now unemployed. It can be said that she has reached the bottom of her life. Mary had been talking like a nagging mother-in-law with her hands on her hips all the way, and now, she started again, "Brother, don't be so sad. You won't starve to death. You have a professional level monster, so what are you afraid of? When we get to the secret realm, catch a few more elves. Expand your strength." Mark 1. He looked helpless. He wanted to catch a few, but how to raise them? Although his monster was professional, it might stay at professional level in this life, because his family had no money, and he had to make money to support Mary's schooling. The person he dated for 3 years ran away with someone else. Catch some elves to train. Although grass-type ones are easy to raise, but without energy cubes and funds to train, it is difficult to train them to a high level. "I'm fine, sister, but you just need to study hard. I will find a way to make money. I will definitely pass this assessment. And there is an interview tomorrow morning, a junior employee of Longye Company, Limited." Mary looked at him again and again, and always felt that her brother was absent-minded. Was it because his girlfriend ran away? That woman was not a good person. She wanted to buy this or that. She drew like a ghost every day. And she had a bunch of friends of the opposite gender. At this moment, Sharona waved her hand, looked ahead with a serious face and said, "Stop chatting. We're here. Look, there are more than 30 crazy Kintaro in front. Go and subdue them and return them to the farm. Okay, after we finish this, we will go to the one that drives away the green caterpillars. Try to pass it once and don't need to retake it." The 4 of them released their elves as they spoke. In the blizzard weather of Sharona's ice elves, the crazy Kintaro herd quickly slowed down. It didn't take long for them to be subdued. Lin Qing, who had just arrived at the Elf Hunter Center, looked at the time. It should be a while before Sharona and the others came back. He was bored and looked at the commissions at the Elf Hunter Center. A-level commission. Go to the bottom of the sea to catch a professional level Gyarados, it must be newly evolved. Go to the mountains to dig 10 green silk grass. Reward 40,000 gold coins. Just as Lin Qing was looking at the commissions, suddenly an uncle came over with a scroll, and then posted it to the commission. Lin Qing looked at it with some curiosity. S-level commission. Go to the toxic secret realm to obtain the toxic orb. Reward 8 million alliance coins. Toxic orb. Lin Qing subconsciously went to his universal store to take a look. The official price is a guaranteed price of 20 million, and it fluctuates depending on the quality. It is a secret treasure of poisonous elves. Some poisonous elves can even improve their qualification level by swallowing this orb. But this toxic secret realm. Lin Qing had heard of this poisonous secret realm before. It can be said that there are poisonous grasses and poisonous insects everywhere. It is a paradise for poisonous elves and a nightmare for all elves. Lin Qing looked at the commission and found that it was S-level. He knew that there must be gym-level elves in this secret realm, and elves were only part of the threat. There were many potential threats. Lin Qing naturally didn't want to go. But then two people came to post several commissions, all of which were from the poisonous secret realm, and the lowest was A-level commissions. Lin Qing naturally didn't think this was a good thing. The more people posted commissions, the fewer people dared to go. At this time, several elf hunters next to him started to discuss this. Should we go? This S-level poisonous gem is definitely impossible to get. Any commission from other poisonous secret realms has 1,000,000 alliance coins. At this time, the man next to him said nervously, "You go." "I won't go. I won't do it today, I'm going home." Then he left. In the distance, there were obviously some elf hunters looking for a team. Some people who didn't know how powerful the poisonous secret realm was would never dream that being poisoned to death was definitely the most feared way of death for all creatures. Lin Qing had made up his mind that he would not let Sharona and the others go to this place no matter what when they came back. Just as Lin Qing was thinking about it, Mary and the others came back with a bright face, obviously completing their commission. After Lin Qing watched them complete the assessment task, everyone received their hunter badges, and he also walked over indifferently. "Hello." Mary saw that this fool had indeed come, and her smiling face just now instantly became indignant. She put her hands on her waist, raised her head, closed her eyes and walked to a seat beside her and sat down. Mark looked at the man who had wanted to molest his sister, and he almost lost control at the time. He was like a fiery beast, his whole body was on fire, and his eyes were like ghosts, emitting green light. Lin Qing also grinned and smiled with his teeth showing, with a sunny face. God knows what he was thinking. Seeing this, Sharona awkwardly changed the subject. "Mary, don't you want to go to the secret realm today? Do you want to go and have a look?" Then Mary pulled May next to her and walked towards the commission notice board with an expectant look. Lin Qing looked at May, who she met for the first time, with some doubts. This female character who was also very popular in the Pokémon TV was also stunned for a while. May had 2 long ponytails on her head, which made her look very cute. She should be in her teens but had an extremely proud figure. An elite-level vine snake was her main Pokémon. Her innocent smile made it easy for her to get along with others. While Lin Qing was still watching, he suddenly felt a cold and murderous aura behind him. "That's right," Sharona started again, her hair was floating in the air. If it weren't for her friends who were embarrassed to do it, Lin Qing would probably have been cold. "Does it look good?" Sharona asked softly with her mouth tilted. Lin Qing nodded subconsciously because he was too nervous, and then shook his head violently. "It's hard to explain." Sharona was annoyed. She had found 2 concubines for him, and it was not enough. The more she thought about it, the angrier she became, and she punched him on the spot. "Ouch, my hand." Sharona covered her hand with a look of grievance and blew it. Lin Qing had the rough skin characteristics of a small shark, and had a close-range anti-armor. Lin Qing wanted to go over and take a look in a panic, but was scared back by the sight shot out of Sharona's eyes. This is the big snake's glare. While the couple was still making a fuss, Mary had already taken 3 other people to accept a commission to go to the poisonous secret realm to collect poisonous mushrooms. The bounty was 2,000,000 alliance coins, and they were tempted at the time. "I just want to pick some mushrooms. When the time comes, we can come out. There shouldn't be any problem. When the time comes, each of the 5 people will share 400,000 alliance coins, which is enough for the elves' expenses for 2 months. Lin Qing was confused. These idiots, there are so many commissions, which one is not good to take? He dared not to take his wife to die. "Well, why don't we change? The bounty of this poisonous secret realm is very high, but no one dares to go, because..." Before Lin Qing finished speaking, Mary next to him interrupted him. "Coward. You can wait here, we don't need you." "I'm a coward. What can't I do?" "Haha, it's true. What can't an LSP like you do? Go, Mei. Stay away from this pervert, he was just peeking at your ass." "I didn't." Lin Qing was also annoyed. He didn't want to quarrel with that woman. His wife was still here. He looked at his wife again. If he took his wife alone, she would not abandon her friend. So Lin Qing followed reluctantly. Just after they left, a man in a purple robe appeared in the Hunter Center. After he looked at the commission of the toxic secret realm, he took out his mobile phone and called someone. Master Gime, the location of the toxic secret realm has been determined. I will send it to you now. Well, keep an eye on the dragon girl Huowu and the electric king Li Tianji. This toxic orb must be ours. Yes, Gime, one of the 3 heroes of Qingliu, is best at using ghost-type elves. The Gengar in his hand, which has just advanced to the gym level, needs some natural treasures to consolidate its strength. Gengar, a kind of elf, has 2 attributes of poison and ghost. Gengar in the real world is regarded as a symbol of ominousness by people because this kind of elf has a case of eating human souls to enhance itself. After Gui Mei hung up the phone, his eyes were cold and he looked at Qingliu City below with a gloomy face. This person was standing on the tallest signal tower in Qingliu City, like a ghost, looking extremely evil. At the entrance of the poisonous secret realm, an alliance law enforcement team was fully armed and wearing protective clothing to carry some injured people. Lin Qing also looked worried. Judging from the faces of the injured, almost all of them were poisoned. However, this did not scare Mary and the others. Mary now urgently wanted to help her brother share the economic pressure and wanted money. However, Sharona showed a trace of worry. She looked at Lin Qing, who was unhappy next to her, and asked, "Husband, you have more experience than us, do you have any opinions?" No, Lin Qing said and held Sharona's hand. If there is any problem when he goes in, he will definitely take care of his wife first. Hey, if you are afraid, go back. You are holding Nana's hand before you go in. Look how scared you are. Lin Qing didn't want to explain anything. He knew that the other party was not a bad person because the owner of this body was really a piece of shit before. If you don't want to be alone, hold on tight. This is a large secret realm and you will be teleported randomly. Lin Qing said as he held Sarona's hand again. Sarona felt warm in her heart and grabbed Mary. Then the 5 of them walked into the entrance of the poisonous secret realm. In an instant, they turned into a blue light and were teleported in. When Lin Qing and the others opened their eyes, they were also shocked by the scene in front of them. The dense forest in front of them was so beautiful. It was a little unreal. The glowing purple fluorescent grass and the crooked ancient trees actually emitted pink starlight, and the pink fragments that fell down were like cherry blossoms, gorgeous and incomparable. It's so beautiful, aha, May stood under those pink light spots with excitement and turned happily. Mary also looked at it again and again with longing. This place is really beautiful. This is the first time she has seen such a dreamy scenery in her life. At this time, Lin Qing had already found something wrong and hurriedly shouted, "Cover your nose." While Sharona was still confused, Lin Qing had put a gas mask on her face. Then Mei and Mary's brother and sister were also assigned one. After a few people looked at it in confusion, they also put it on. Just after Mei put on the gas mask, she suddenly felt black in front of her eyes, and then fainted. Mary shouted in panic. Obviously they will be taught a lesson by this cruel nature today. Lin Qing looked at the remains of the elf's body that had rotted so much that it was hard to tell what it was under the beautiful tree in the distance, and his heart was also cold. These plants are highly poisonous. The light spots and scenery that shine at night attract creatures to approach. As long as you inhale this pink dust, you will definitely faint. Then Lin Qing took out an antidote from his backpack, pinched her nose and made her drink it, and put on the gas mask again. Mark looked at the fully equipped Lin Qing in silence, and the wilderness survival backpack that looked like a treasure bag. Is this still the living devil? How come he looks more experienced than him? Before I came in, I knew I couldn't stop you. Can I say a few words now? Lin Qing looked at Mei who had recovered, and returned to Sarona with a serious face. He always felt that this place was more weird than Phylong Valley, and he didn't want to leave Sarona's side at all. Then Lin Qing changed his kind expression and said seriously. With your level, you can't accept commissions from large secret realms. As for why you can accept them, it's probably because the client spent a lot of money to the Hunter Center, and they can't wait to get something here. In other words, you are all death squads. If you don't bring antidotes to this place, you will die. And don't rely on antidotes. If there is a poison that can't be solved, you will die. Elves don't have gas masks. They can only use antidotes to maintain their health. If the antidote is gone and they are poisoned, they will die. I don't want to come to this place. I'm afraid to avoid it. If it weren't for you being Nana's friends, I wouldn't bother to care. If you want to live, just listen to me. In fact, Lin Qing still wanted to save his personality that had collapsed before Sharona's friends. If he often quarreled with Nana's friends, Nana would be unhappy. Thinking of this, Lin Qing distributed the equipment in the bag to everyone, including antidotes, spare gas masks, protective clothing, stimulants, flashlights, etc. All of the people in the group put on fully enclosed protective suits, and every inch of their skin was armed. Let's go. Let's see where those poisonous mushrooms are. We'll go back after we collect enough, Lin Qing said as he was about to take them away. But just as they were about to leave, Lin Qing subconsciously looked at the pink ancient tree behind him. It seemed that something had moved just now. Hiss! Suddenly a group of white things shot over, and Lin Qing suddenly ran over and pushed Mark away. It seems that we have been targeted. Lin Qing looked at the pink spider on the pink tree with a serious face, showing worry. A Flash Master level Ariados, a dual-element elf of insects and poisons, carnivorous, and this kind of elf is gregarious, and a large group appears at a time. Hiss! Then more Ariados crawled out of the nearby fluorescent grass. Lin Qing also saw that the flashing one was definitely the leader. Most of the others were professional and elite. Why is this happening? Mary stared at the large group of poisonous insects with a dull look on her face, and a trace of cowardice appeared on her face. This is where they are's lair. They must have been observing us just now. A group of cunning things. Mark said and released his strange power. May also released the vine snake, and cold sweat broke out on everyone's head. Come out, ice elves. Use blizzard. Sharona also released her elves and came up with a large-scale skill, trying to kill some weaker Alados. Ali, at this moment, the shining leader directly hit with a mental power, and the ice elf's head was severely injured, and the blizzard was directly interrupted. And Lin Qing has been sensing the leader's thoughts from just now to now, trying to find a way to break through. This group of Alados has been entrenched here for more than 20 years, and many people have eaten them. Lin Qing, who originally wanted to subdue it and give it to others, has now given up this idea. The elves that grow up eating people can no longer be considered elves. What surprised Lin Qing even more was that all of them had the characteristic of not being able to sleep, and the powerful sleeping powder of this tree was ineffective against them. They acted as the guards of this tree, and this tree hypnotized the creatures passing by, and the two coexisted in harmony. Just when Lin Qing learned this information, those Alados began to spit spider silk, trying to wrap them up, and then inject venom to dissolve their bodies. Mei had been entangled by two spider silks, and her face was in a panic. The vine snakes next to her tried their best to save her, but it was useless. Lin Qing hurriedly took out Charmeleon's Pokeball, looked around, and quickly released, Charmeleon. Release the flame vortex under our feet. Protect them. In an instant, the spider silk that was shot over was burned off by the flame vortex of the professional Charmeleon. Charmeleon obviously also inhaled the dust, and Lin Qing had already taken the antidote and fed it. Charmeleon, use jet flame. Burn that pink tree, Lin Qing said as he rushed out of the vortex of flames. Wait, husband. Quote, Lin Qing looked at Sharona's worried eyes, and his heart was warmed. Then his eyes turned cold, and he released Xiaosha. Let's do it. Use the earth-shattering star. One on each side. After Lin Qing finished speaking, Xiaosha and Lin Qing stood back to back, raised their hands and clapped, and began to accumulate power. This super-killing move, which was modified from the quicksand hell, was used by the two of them together for the first time. Like a planetary collision, the two huge sandballs wrapped up countless Ariados. Lin Qing looked at Xiaosha's side, and some professional level ones seemed to want to escape. Lin Qing raised his hand and clapped, and changed positions with Xiaosha, trying to make up for the sandballs on Xiaosha's side. Hold on, at most 1 minute, they will die. After Lin Qing finished talking to Xiaosha, he turned back and shouted to Sharona, the rest of the lone ones are left to you, my wife. The master-level Flash Alados saw his tribe trapped and was furious on the spot. A dark night shadow attacked Lin Qing at a very fast speed. Lin Qing did not want to release Latius. He knew that the innocent man was guilty of possessing a treasure. There were so many people thinking about Xiaosha alone. The second-level god would definitely attract masters. Xiaosha, explode. At the moment when the Flash Alados attacked, Lin Qing and Xiaoxia clapped their hands at the same time. Those Alados trapped by the earth-shattering stars died directly. Some low-level ones had their legs crushed by the earth-shattering stars. Obviously, their lives were ruined. Ali, the leader, was furious and released missile needles on the spot. The speed was like a machine gun. 5 consecutive poison needles like ice cones burst over. Lin Qing smiled softly. To deal with such an elf that was so angry that it lost its mind, it was no threat to a slightly higher level than him. In an instant, Lin Qing disappeared. The Alados was slightly stunned and began to look for it in panic. How could this person suddenly disappear? While Lin Qing understood Alados's thoughts, he approached it in stealth. When it sensed to the left, he moved to the right. Not long after, Lin Qing had walked to it with the little shark in his arms. Then 2 Rasengans hit Alados directly from the back of his head. The leader howled in pain. The intense pain was about to make it faint. Lin Qing had a cold face. After he sensed that this thing had eaten a lot of people, he didn't plan to keep it alive. With a desperate scream, the leader stopped moving. Lin Qing turned around and looked at Sirona. As expected of the champion, the remaining Aridos were all taken care of by Sirona. Mark was not calm. If Lin Qing hadn't followed them today, they would have been dead. This living devil, is he so awesome? He seems to have the power of wave guidance. Or superpowers. He is so strong. How could he not beat me 3 months ago? Mark, who couldn't figure it out, was also confused. Thank you. You are so awesome. If it weren't for you, we would have been in trouble. At this time, Mei came over with a bright face, clasped her hands together and thanked Lin Qing enthusiastically. Lin Qing swallowed subconsciously, looked at Sharona and said with extreme caution, "It's okay. It's okay, we are all friends." Mary now seemed to have eaten bitter herbs, and she didn't know what to say. It took her a long time to deal with the group just now. How can this guy be so strong? Wasn't he a rookie before? Was he saved by him? Let's go, Mary, don't be in a daze. Mark patted his sister's shoulder from behind, and was also thoughtful. The few people were in danger, but finally escaped. Along the way, they saw poison Pokémon such as Abel, Nidorino, and Venusaur. In this way, they kept walking towards the mountain in the distance. It was unknown how long they had walked. Mei seemed to have discovered something and shouted excitedly, "Look! There are people in front." Lin Qing quickly covered her mouth with a terrified look on his face, which made the people behind him confused. "Lie down." Several people soon understood and all lay down. Mei looked at Lin Qing with embarrassment. Did she almost expose them just now? Lin Qing looked at the 2 people in front with a worried look on his face. He saw that the 2 were looking at the cave behind and talking about something. "Laoju, how long do you think we should wait? Don't be impatient, wait slowly. When someone comes, we pretend to be poisoned, give him the antidote, and then kill him. Isn't this much smarter than entering a poisonous cave? Indeed, it's normal to be poisoned here anyway. Your bats will be hidden later. As long as the other party relaxes their vigilance, they will directly fall from the sky." Suddenly, the man called Laoju covered his companion's mouth, obviously seeing someone coming. Lin Qing was stunned. Tang Yuehua was among the group. What was she doing here? Was she also looking for the poisonous orb? Sharona also saw the woman. She was with 3 male hunters. They didn't look very old. Could they be students of their elf academy? "Help, help, who can save me?" Just when they were a little worried, Laoju ran out with a painful face and spitting white foam, shouting in pain, "Give me the antidote. Help." A boy next to Tang Yuehua was about to step forward, but was stopped by Tang Yuehua. "President, don't you save him." The boy was obviously stunned. He definitely couldn't do this. After all, Tang Yuehua had been to the secret realm several times. She knew this place very well. Sometimes people are more terrifying than elves in the wild. Wait, observe, see if there is any problem. After Tang Yuehua finished speaking, the 2 boys next to him began to search around with their elves. When the old wine saw that the other party was a little alert, he screamed, "Help me," at the top of his lungs, and then spurted out a mouthful of blood, and his eyes rolled back and he fainted. Lin Qing next to him was stunned. This guy's acting skills, I don't know how much better than those young actors. Lin Qing admired the level of rolling his eyes. This death was too miserable. I guess he would have died long ago if he went to film. President. He seems to be dying. The boy also became worried. After seeing Tang Yuehua nod, the two boys ran over. Lin Qing was thinking, if he went over and killed the old wine now, would those stupid students think he was a murderer? It is possible that a person with such an IQ could do such a thing. Thinking of this, Lin Qing thought it would be better to wait until they were all in trouble before going up. Soon Tang Yuehua also found something wrong. Why didn't the two companions who just ran over move? At this moment, a crazy laugh suddenly came from the bushes nearby. Ha ha ha. Laoju, there's a schoolgirl here, we two are going to have a great time tonight. Tang Yuehua was shocked and thought it was not good. She shouted in panic, Jian Zimian, use sleeping powder. But at this moment, the cross-shaped bat floating in the dark was like a ghost, and it used an air blade with outstanding effect. It killed Jian Zimian in seconds. Then it flew in front of Tang Yuehua and others at lightning speed, and hit them directly with a strange light in the face. At that time, Tang Yuehua felt dizzy, his heartbeat accelerated, and his vision also had double vision. Looking at the people who had no resistance, Laoju also smiled smugly. These student elves can also be sold for some money, and if this student girl is tired of playing, she can sell it to the brothel in 2 months and make some money. Thinking of this, Laoju's eyes became wretched, and he looked up and down at the other party and said, ha ha ha, the cross-shaped bat killed those 3 men. Well done. But at this moment, the man called Laoju seemed to feel that there was sand in his eyes. Subconsciously, he wanted to wipe it with his hands. Wait, how could there be sand in this place? When he reacted, it was too late. He and his companions were already wrapped in a huge ball of sand. Then they fainted, and Lin Qing slowly walked out, with Xiaoxia beside him. After Lin Qing looked at the hearts of these two people, he was also disgusted to the point of wanting to vomit. Before, they often kidnapped women in the secret realm, tortured them back, and sold them. Now there are 7 or 8 girls locked up in a basement. Then Lin Qing lit a cigarette with a cold face, looked at Xiaoxia next to him and said, Xiaoxia. Kill them. Shark. Not only Xiaoxia was stunned, but Mary and the others behind him were also stunned. He wants to kill people. At this moment, Lin Qing suddenly said indifferently, you were wrong, kill their elves. Don't let that Venus fly away. You save Tang Yuehua and the others first, I will go to see if those people have any treasures. Lin Qing walked towards those people and looked at the group of people and students behind him with an indignant look, not wanting to explain anything. If they don't die, they will have a chance to retaliate against you later, so you can wait to die. While Mary and the others were still treating Tang Yuehua, the 2 people who fainted behind them suddenly caught fire, then suddenly woke up, rolled on the ground, screamed, and then burned to death. Everyone around stayed there. A student who was close to Lin Qing seemed to see Lin Qing spewing fire from his mouth. He shouted in fear, kill, 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 this person killed someone. Lin Qing's eyes turned cold. As expected, these people's brains were like they had been enlightened. The Virgin Mary killed someone. He is a murderer. Tang Yuehua, who woke up, looked at the familiar face and hesitated to speak. She saw her companion pointing at Lin Qing and calling him a murderer, and there were 2 corpses next to him. Tang Yuehua knew that it was Lin Qing who saved her. She wanted to go over and say something, but she saw Sharona again and retreated. Lin Qing said impatiently, how did I kill him? He suddenly caught fire, didn't you faint just now? Lin Qing wanted to take Sharona away from this place and rescue Tang Yuehua. It was Sharona who asked him to do it just now. But killing these people was indeed his idea. You really killed them. Mary looked at the man with fear, as if she had never understood him. Hey, don't be so hypocritical, okay? Without me, none of you can survive. Won't you save them, and then get ambushed? Later, all the men will be killed, and the women will be humiliated day and night. If they wake up, in this secret place, do you think they will let it go? Or do you feel sorry for them? Do you want them to favor you? Lin Qing was too lazy to explain anything, and walked aside to smoke, looking unhappy. Then Sharona sighed silently, and walked over with a concerned look, don't be angry. Dear, they are still young. They may not understand, you did the right thing. Lin Qing was silent, and he looked at the male student who just said he was a murderer with a cold face. The student was so scared that he took out the Pokeball. I thought Lin Qing was going to spit him to death with a mouthful of fire. What are you going to do? Lin Qing was naturally trying to read the student's mind. If he was thinking about reporting him later, he wouldn't mind killing him now. Oh, so this is your first time in the secret realm. Do you want to show your righteous side in front of Tang Yuehua? I advise you to mind your own business in the secret realm. I won't make it difficult for you. If you are not mentally prepared next time, don't come. You will die. After hearing what Lin Qing said, they were so scared that they dared not even fart. Just when they were still in a stalemate, Mei suddenly shouted excitedly beside them, "Toxic mushrooms. Look, everyone. Ah, Qing." She didn't know why she suddenly called out Lin Qing's name. Was it because she had always regarded him as the backbone of the team? She covered her mouth with embarrassment. Mary and the others began to collect those poisonous mushrooms. Several of them looked at Lin Qing from time to time, thinking. Mark reacted quickly. If that counted, Lin Qing had saved them 3 times. The first time was the tree that could release poison and gave them gas masks. The second time was to kill the group of Alados. The third time was this scam. After looking at Lin Qing, he took out a pack of small targets from his pocket, tapped the cigarette box twice on his body, and then took out 2 cigarettes and handed them to Lin Qing. Thanks. Lin Qing also took the one inside and said calmly, "It's okay, just let your sister scold me less in the future. We should have settled the previous matter a long time ago, I remember." Mark nodded subconsciously. Although Lin Qing wanted to molest his sister before, he also sent Lin Qing to the mental hospital and almost killed him. Later, Lin Qing asked his mother to withdraw the lawsuit. Then Tang Yuehua also talked to the 3 junior students of the Elf Academy, and they reached a consensus. Mei, who had already collected mushrooms, also saw the cave that the 2 people just mentioned, and looked inside with curiosity. What is in this? Lin Qing was also convinced by Mei, who was looking for death everywhere. There was not even a grass at the entrance of the cave. The ground was half purple and half black. How poisonous it must be. Don't look. Go back. Lin Qing shouted angrily. Mei, who was fascinated by the scene, staggered. You scared me. What are you doing? Then she followed Lin Qing with a pout. Just when they were about to leave here, suddenly, they felt some movement behind them. A group of people came over in a dusty manner. Oh, there are so many students. Do you want to join our ghost hall? Lin Qing looked at the 3 heroes of Qingliu with a serious face, and his heart was always scared. How come I can't detect this man's thoughts? Lin Qing looked at the Qingliu 3 heroes named Gui Mei, and felt a little scared. The ghost energy on that man. The ghost energy fluctuations. It's beyond common sense. How many people must he have killed? Lin Qing now feels that his heart is about to jump out. Who is this man? Why do I feel like I'm suffocating when I look at him? Aha, Master Gui Mei from the Qingliu 3 heroes. At this moment, the 3 students next to Tang Yuehua greeted him with enthusiasm. Gui Mei also responded to them very politely and enthusiastically. What a group of energetic and brave children. I may have to be busy with other things today. I can't accompany you. If you have the opportunity to come to our Gui Yi Hall, I will welcome you very much. The students nodded their heads in admiration. This opportunity to meet the 3 heroes of Qingliu City is really rare. And I heard that Master Gui Mei's spirit has recently broken through the gym level. Mary and the others also gathered around. For some reason, they always felt at ease when they saw the team of the 3 heroes of Qingliu. They had rescued countless people and were heroes in people's hearts. Lin Qing glanced at Gui Mei and his army nervously, and almost met their eyes. Lin Qing turned back and flicked the ash and urinated, looking harmless. Gui Mei was also stunned for 2 seconds. He seemed to have felt a strange energy fluctuation from the urinating boy just now, and then he looked at the charred body on the ground. Is it an illusion? Then Gui Mei looked at the group of students and said kindly, "Okay, classmates. Go back quickly. This place is very dangerous. Who knows, someone might die. I'll let 2 guards from the ghost hall take you back." Tang Yuehua was still thinking about conquering a poisonous elf, but her shuttlecock Cotton had fainted, and that kind of thing happened, so she was no longer in the mood. She also followed Gui Mei's 2 guards back. They were talking all the way. Master Gui Mei is such a gentle man. He sent these two seniors to send us back. They are not only powerful and handsome, but also kind-hearted. Well, I want to join Guitang after graduation. Join Master Guimei. Several people were talking there, just like the male student who just said that Lin Qing was a murderer. He was so excited that he had obviously forgotten what happened just now. Lin Qing walked at the end of the team all the way, smoking all the way. He tried to sense the thoughts of the two guards. But the two guards were very kind people. It seemed that they came to help Guimei find the poisonous orb tonight. No matter how they detected it, they found no problem. But Lin Qing felt the fatal pressure just now, which was obviously not normal. There is a problem. There is definitely a problem. Was he exposed just now? He remembered that the other party looked at him for a few seconds. But at this moment, their team reached the teleportation port. After the two guards saw them being teleported out, they also went back to the ghost. Lin Qing was still thinking about what happened just now. Should he go back to find out? If the other party is some peerless villain, then can he kill him by stealth before the other party develops? No, the poisonous orb cannot be kept. God knows what he is going to do. Anyway, he is definitely not a good person. The ghost energy is at least tens of thousands of souls gathered together. Thank you, Ah Ching. I was abrupt before, and Nana, I didn't know you were really together. Just when Lin Qing was still thinking about the plan, Tang Yuehua came over with a nervous face, wanting to apologize to Lin Qing and the others. It's okay, senior sister, let's talk it out, we will still be friends in the future. You can call me next time you come to the secret realm. Sharona said with a sunny face. Mei next to him was also holding Tang Tang Snake and said excitedly, Hee hee, Mary, you said I'm bad, what's wrong with me? I think Sister Nana is quite discerning. If it weren't for Ah Cheng, I would probably die tonight. And at least 3 times. 3 times. Mary saw that these people were on her side, and she was immediately unhappy. She tilted her head and snorted coldly. Sister, alas, let's go and complete the commission. Mark was also hesitant to speak, and I don't know what he was thinking. At this time, Lin Qing looked at Sharona, and then looked at them, with a thoughtful look on his face. What's wrong, husband? Sharona noticed Lin Qing's unnaturalness. Lin Qing's head had been sweating since the beginning. Sharona thought that Lin Qing was still angry with them, so she didn't want to talk for a long time. Baozi, you go home first, I have some. Also before Lin Qing finished speaking, Sharona came over and said with concern, well, I know you have something to do, be careful, no matter what you do, I will always support you. Oh my God, you two are still outside. Go home and make out. I can't stand it. Mary shook her head speechlessly, and the people around her also looked over. Sharona was standing on tiptoe and hugging Lin Qing's neck with a silly look on her face. The two of them hugged each other tightly, and Lin Qing also hugged Sharona's waist with both hands. The action was extremely hot. Mark looked at his sister Mary's coffin-like figure, and then looked at Sharona's figure over there, and said with a puzzled look. I have always wanted to ask. What is better than Sharona? At that time, Mary's anger value exploded, and she rode directly on her brother's back, using her life skill with an angry face, crazy grabbing. What did you say? Say it again. Mary naturally understood what her brother meant. What did Lin Qing like about her when he wanted to molest her? She had no figure and no personality. Mark, who was below, begged for mercy and shouted, I'm talking about the figure. No, stop grabbing. My dear sister, that's not what I meant. I didn't say you like Lin Qing. While the two siblings were still fighting, Lin Qing had quietly retreated, then turned invisible and slowly returned to the toxic secret realm. Sharona took all of Lin Qing's elves with her, and she didn't know why he did that. Then Sharona called a taxi and took them to the Elf Hunter Center. After returning to the toxic secret realm, Lin Qing turned into a middle-aged man. He put on a gas mask and turned invisible and flew towards the cave. As soon as he arrived in the cave, his protective suit began to make a hissing sound. Lin Qing was secretly shocked. How poisonous was the air here? The protective suit couldn't stand it. At this moment, a series of extremely shrill screams came from the depths of the cave. Master Ghost. Master, spare my life. I don't want to die. Chapter 91. Lin Qing held his breath. He looked at the deep pit of the cave with a serious face. In the deep pit that was purple to black, the ghost held a purple bead in one hand and pinched a guard with the other hand. He looked very kind, smiling with a kind face. Don't be afraid, it will be over in a moment, just a moment. It looked extremely weird, and Lin Qing just felt a little strange. What were those black shadows on the ground? At first glance, they were all poisonous elves. Dragon King Scorpion, Spoon Snake, Nidaking, Double Bullet Gas and other elves died in a whole group, and there were also a group of dead ghost guards around. And they were all dismembered, and the death was extremely miserable, as if they were scraped to death by some attack. Lin Qing didn't dare to breathe, looking at the ghost below, and tried to detect the other party's thoughts again. But what he detected was all the resentment and grievances of countless wrong souls coming out of the ghost, and the extremely huge ghost energy rushed straight into the sky. While Lin Qing was still frightened, the man below suddenly became extremely painful, with a distorted expression. No, don't, Master Ghost. I have a child. Ghost smiled evilly and stuffed the poisonous orb in his hand directly into the man's mouth. His eyes were filled with ecstasy. Don't be afraid, it will be fine in a moment, I will give you a new life, Ghost said while looking at the man who had rolled his eyes. Then Ghost stretched out his other hand and pointed directly at the man's heart, and countless ghost energy rushed out. The man went into shock on the spot, and his body twisted in an extremely exaggerated movement like a zombie. Welcome to your new life. You will be the third Homo sapiens elf. A combination of ghost, poison, and human. With the man's roar, his clothes began to burst, his eyes were like evil ghosts, his body became larger, and his skin turned purple. It was obvious that he was no longer a human. Lin Qing looked at the monster with horror. He could clearly feel the other party's energy and level. Gym level. How is it possible that a living person turned into a spirit? And it's gym level. Then what exactly is this ghost? Just then the ghost took out a silver spirit ball and threw it at the man who had just transformed with ecstasy. Come back. From now on, you will be called Poison Ghost. But the man did not resist. He knelt on one knee with a respectful look and was taken in by the ghost. Then the ghost looked at the mess on the ground and shook his head helplessly. Alas, I have to do this every time, it's really troublesome. I have to recruit some new members, and I accidentally used them up. Just then the ghost seemed to have discovered something, looked at the sky with a vigilant face, and used a huge shadow ball directly to hit it. There was a violent explosion above, and a Zubat was killed instantly, and a wing fell to the ground. After the ghost used the strange Pokeball to collect the man, Lin Qing ran away immediately. Now he has come to a restaurant outside the secret realm, and he is still scared. Use ghost energy and poisonous orbs to create monsters. Collect people into Pokeballs. This ghost must be at least a king level strength. Is he also a time traveler? System. Are you still alive? Lin Qing slowly closed his eyes, wanting to find out. I am. I must have been defeated again, otherwise you would remember me. Don't talk nonsense. Are there other time travelers besides me? Wait, let me check. There should be no one in this dimension. Just you. What's wrong? Did you run into a boss? Lin Qing kept thinking about the Pokémon TV he had watched before, and couldn't figure out what was going on. Have you ever seen someone who can turn a person into a Pokémon with bare hands? And he used a Pokeball to collect that person. The Pokémon that turned out was directly gym level. Have you seen it? The system looked at Lin Qing as if he was looking at an idiot, and didn't want to pay any attention to him. Lin Qing then pressed, I asked you if you have seen it. The system replied with an indignant look on his face, nonsense. Did you drink fake wine? Or was you dumped by your young wife? ... You should take a break. It's useless. You just skip work every day. Forget it, I'll check it myself. After dinner, Lin Qing was also unsure. This ghost was definitely not a good person, and he was planning something. In the future, he should keep a distance from this ghost as much as possible, and he also needs to find some helpers. The other two Qingliu 3 heroes. In short, he needs to improve his strength as soon as possible, build his own team, and find some confidants. Thinking of this, Lin Qing also had a plan. There was one thing to do before he went home. Rescued the women who were captured by the man named Lao Ju. Then, with the memory of the dead Lao Ju, they found the basement. After seeing the victims, Lin Qing also made an anonymous call to ask the police to come and rescue them. What shocked Lin Qing was that 2 of these women were still students. Maybe they would never dare to go to any secret realm again in their lives. As for Sirona and Mary, they have also returned to the Elf Hunter Center. Just received the bounty for picking poisonous mushrooms in the poisonous secret realm, and each of them shared some. Mei saw that they were going to go back, and said reluctantly that, "Sister Nana, thank you so much today. If it weren't for you and your husband, maybe we would all be dead. Next time, let's get more information. Don't be so impulsive, let's go back earlier, it's getting late. Go slowly on the road, Nana. Send me a message when you get home." Mary shouted to Sirona, who was walking away. Sirona also waved to them, called a car and went home. In the car, Sirona was thinking. What happened tonight really shocked Sirona. She even felt that it was not the first time Lin Qing killed someone. That indifferent look seemed a little cold-blooded, as if he was doing something very ordinary. What else is he hiding from me? After thinking about it, she gritted her teeth and supported him no matter what he did. After returning home, she let all the elves out and didn't eat all night. Lin Qing specifically told us to release the elves separately, otherwise the house would be demolished. Sharona thought that after releasing Little Shark, he would make a fuss, but today Little Shark was very well behaved and sat in front of the TV with a bag of food, and then started watching. Just after Sharona went out, Little Shark secretly took out his mobile phone, then looked around, and when no one was around, he opened his Love Fish app. Then he typed smoothly, "Young Master Lang is online, charming everyone. Didi Zhang I Xiao Taohong, you are the only one, love you." When Xiaoxia sent a series of texts in the local singles dating group he joined. Someone immediately responded below, "The idiot above is talking nonsense again. Xiao Taohong has changed her family, and she is now the extermination of our royal family." Xiaoxia's veins popped up. This Xiao Taohong privately chatted with him yesterday and said that she wanted to meet him in person, but she ran away with someone today. Thinking of this, Xiaoxia continued to type, "Xiao Taohong, come out and give me an explanation. Who knows what this demonized round land shark is going to do by looking for a woman to meet in person, and he looks very serious. Xiao Taohong, you are so poor, you didn't even give me a 100 yuan red envelope, and you still want me to meet you in person. The royal dragon gave me 648. I meet you in person. Nonsense." Xiaoxia was directly annoyed. Exclamation mark. Realistic woman. Money. Richer than this shark. My father's family is full of money. My father's money is all my money. So Xiaoxia began to look around, and saw the mobile phone that Sharona put on the table, and his eyes lit up at that time. There is a saying that goes, elves follow their masters. And Lin Qing once said, "My father's is mine." Now Xiaoxia looked at the mobile phone, thinking, it's all his father's, and his father's future will definitely belong to it. After opening Sharona's mobile phone, he opened the elf payment code. Payment password. 5 chances to enter. Xiaoxia thought about it. According to the current young people's IQ, the password is either her birthday or her partner, or the mobile phone number. They can't remember other passwords. After trying 3 times, Xiaoxia already had 200,000 alliance coins in his account, and then he put the phone back carefully. When Xiaoxia was about to turn around, he suddenly thought of something. I have to delete the transfer record. In this way, Xiaoxia got the first money to pick up girls without anyone noticing. After logging into the social account, he directly sent 61314 to Xiao Taohong. 5 minutes later, Zhang I Lang Xiao became popular in the local singles group. When the royal family heard about it, they all changed jobs and clamored to follow Lang Xiao. Meet at Qingliu City Pedestrian Street tomorrow. Xiao Taohong also said, my account was just used by someone else. I'm sorry, Lang Xiao. I love you, a lonely girl. At that time, Xiaoxia shuddered. It was too disgusting. It's okay, I want to be disgusting. It can be as disgusting as possible. After all, it's not easy to find someone in his 50s. Just when Xiaoxia was replying to messages and chatting with a group of people online, Lin Qing came back. Lin Qing was still thinking about turning people into elves and putting them in the ball, and his face was silent. He had no intention of paying attention to Xiaoxia at all. Xiaoxia looked at his wild father with a playful look, as if he was planning something. Husband is back. Do you want to eat something? My sister and I left some in the kitchen tonight, waiting for you and Nana to come and eat. Lin Qing looked at his third wife Su Qinyan wearing an apron, and his heart was warmed. Then he waved his hand and asked them to go to rest. Little Shark looked at Lin Qing, who was sitting there smoking, his eyes rolling around, and then he took a notebook and wrote a line of words on it. Looked at Lin Qing, who was in deep thought. It laughed meanly. Just when Lin Qing lit a cigarette and was thinking about whether to call the Chlorophyll brothers back tomorrow, Little Shark came over. I saw it very obediently holding a notebook behind its buttocks. What's wrong, Little Shark? Lin Qing exhaled a puff of smoke lightly, looked at the round land shark who performed well today and said. Little Shark raised the sign with an innocent face for Lin Qing to see. Tomorrow, I want to go to the pedestrian street to play whack-a-mole. Lin Qing read the words in a bit of surprise, and his eyes became kinder. Yes, his elves have been training all the time, and he hasn't accompanied them to play properly. The Qingliu City League will be held the day after tomorrow. Do you want to take a day off tomorrow? Take the whole family to play. Finding helpers and confidants will be put in the Qingliu League, and then see which ones are more reliable. Yes, what's the use of being anxious? You still have to live in the present and cherish the people in front of you. Lin Qing seemed to have realized it, and touched the little shark's head with a look of relief. Shark, Little Shark smiled again and wrote a sentence, I love you, Dad. You are so nice. Lin Qing was so happy at that time. It was the first time he heard his elf say that he loved him since he came here. At that time, my heart was like honey, and my mouth was full of joy. Who said I have a bad character? A bad personality? Nonsense. Lin Qing grinned and crossed his legs, looking very happy. His mistake was that he relaxed his vigilance at home and didn't open his eyes at home. Telepathy. It might be more dangerous at home. Tomorrow the whole family will go to the pedestrian street. Bring Nana and the others. I don't think I've ever walked with them. Thank you, Little Shark. Go back to sleep. I'll take you there tomorrow. When Little Shark saw that his plan had worked, he left silently. He sneered in his heart. Are you competing with me? Ha ha, stupid two-legged beast. After returning to his shark nest, he took out his mobile phone again, opened the singles group, and sent a burst of red envelopes to it. The trolls in it also changed their words. From the original idiot Hu Diao to the current Lang Xiao, who is unparalleled in the world, just a few red envelopes were used. Little Shark. Everyone will go to Qingliu City Pedestrian Street tomorrow. I'm going to make an official announcement with Xiao Taohong. Everyone, wear your most beauty and explosive clothes and come. I, Lang Xiao, will reimburse the travel expenses. Received. 99 plus. Just like that, the family went to sleep in harmony. Early the next morning, Lin Qing woke up his three wives with a happy face. Get up, my dears. Aren't we going to compete tomorrow? Let's relax for a day today. I'll take you out to play. Let's go. Wash your face if you need to. Put on makeup if you need to. When they heard they were going out to play, the three girls were excited and started looking for their best clothes and putting on makeup. Little Shark thought he would be out in a few minutes. Waited at the door since 7 a.m. Waited silently until 9 a.m. Honey, do you think I should wear high heels or sneakers with this skirt? Honey, do you think I should apply darker or lighter eyeliner? Honey, help me take off my shoulder strap. Lin Qing also smiled bitterly. These wives told Lin Qing that it would only take 10 minutes since 7 a.m. It's already 9 a.m. One woman might be faster, but the three women all want to look better than each other. Even their skirts are 1 centimeter shorter than each other. In order to let Lin Qing take a closer look. What can you say? The little shark at the door was walking back and forth with his hands behind his back, looking impatient. Are these women going to perform? 2 hours. Just then, the little shark's cell phone rang. Mr. Lang, we are here, the little shark replied helplessly. Right away. On the way. After about half an hour, the three girls finally finished dressing up and came to the door to set off. Today, Sharona was wearing a black leather jacket, which was very eye-catching. The scent of flowers on her body made the elves in the yard intoxicated. The sisters Su Qinyan and Su Tianyan were even more black and white. Both sisters wore short dresses that reached their hip-hop style, and added a black denim jacket. They looked a bit hip-hop, and their 2 gradient black silk stockings were shiny. As soon as the 3 girls walked on the street, they instantly became an extremely rewarding scenery. In this way, the family walked on the road in harmony. I don't know if it was premeditated or impromptu. Su Qinyan pulled Lin Qing's arm next to her with a smirk and asked, "Husband, who do you think is good-looking among us?" Lin Qing didn't even think about it and blurted out, "They are all good-looking." The degree of perfunctory was shocking, and he didn't even act. Hearing this, Sharona also became interested. She said with a playful look on her face, "You have to choose one. Who do you say is pretty?" All are pretty." Just when Lin Qing was perfunctorily answering his wives with a flustered look, Xiaoxia had already clicked on the other party's location. Just walk another 10 minutes to reach Xiao Taohong's location. "Mr. Lin, are you still alive today? Which one is pretty? You will be pretty today." Qingliu City pedestrian street is divided into 2 areas, one is the shopping street and the other is the shop street. Most of the shops in the shop street are for eating, drinking and playing. It is a down-to-earth place. Many young people dressed fashionably will come here for street shooting. There will also be some people in strange costumes. And at this moment, there is a team of godlike characters with extremely explosive shapes, posing and leaning against various facilities at the entrance of the pedestrian street. There was a girl with explosive red hair leaning against a telephone pole. You could only see her mouth, which was completely blocked by her red hair. The corners of her mouth tilted from time to time. She was extremely confident, and she was carrying a big speaker on her shoulder. There was also a girl with green hair leaning against a statue. She was wearing high heels and short shorts. She looked like a woman with nothing to do. Her face was painted with a face that would make ghosts scream and dogs run away. There was a group of people dressed in the same way next to them. The leader was a tattooed man with hair like the poisonous horns of Nidoking, sharp and purple, and the word, "Royal Family," was tattooed on his face. "Is young Master Leng here? I've been posing here for more than an hour. I want to poop. Be careful, ask Ajiu to bring the cement from the village. I'll dance a famous dance for young Master Leng." Just as everyone was still discussing, a younger brother suddenly shouted, "Young Master Leng is here. He brought 3 women who don't look good." Music, music, the magic of love circles, sounded. "Everyone, take your positions. Royal Family. Where's the cement? Cement. The cement is here. Everyone, take your positions." Lin Qing didn't know that at the corner in front of him, there was a group of Qingliu City's most feared shamat team, preparing to dance with Lin Qing in front. Celebrate the official announcement of Xiao Taohong by young Master Leng of Funeral Love. All professional equipment such as lighting, sound, elf live broadcast room, cement atmosphere master, etc. are all available. Lin Qing was still pulling Sharona and the others to think about where to eat later, and walked forward with curiosity. And the little shark possessed by Fengchu Wolong swallowed his saliva subconsciously and slowly hid back to prevent being accidentally injured by friendly forces. At this time, Su Qinyan, who looked innocent, seemed to have discovered something. "Husband. Look, there is a performance in front. It seems to have just started." Then he was pulled over. Music started. When Lin Qing was about to approach the group of people, he seemed to feel a trace of restlessness from the depths of his soul, this rhythm buried deep in his heart. The magic of love is spinning. I miss you so much that my heart is blooming day and night. At this time, someone sprinkled a bag of cement dust, and those people began to dance wildly. Lin Qing looked at the man wearing high heels, fishnet stockings and shorts nervously, his expression gradually twisted. Just when Lin Qing wanted to leave, he suddenly found that something was wrong, and there was cement dust all around. Those people seemed to be coming for him. Yo, you said your name is Leng Xiao, Chiki Na Wu. Yo, you said you love Taohong, yo. Lin Qing looked at the group of monsters who surrounded him, and his eyes were so hot that he was about to cry. Leng Xiao, did you recognize the wrong person? The passers-by next to him were afraid of it after seeing it. Run. These people are crazy. Call 110. Look at that man wearing fishnet stockings, twisting so coquettishly. I can't stand it anymore, let me drive, kill him. At this moment, the man in fishnet stockings was hugging Lin Qing and dancing closely. The little shark behind him smiled crookedly, taking photos of Lin Qing every day, and then sending them to the group, just for this day. Just then, the ground began to shake. Shaking and shaking. I don't know which elf released the earthquake trick. Little shark's eyes turned cold and looked back. Here it comes. The killer that can turn Lin Qing into a soft egg is here. This is the ugliest, fattest, oldest, and extremely perverted girl, Xiao Taohong, who Xiaoxia found through online dating with thousands of women. When Xiaoxia saw the photo of Xiao Taohong, he directly used the milk in the big milk can that he had just drunk. Lin Qing in the crowd looked disgusted. He was thinking about running away when he suddenly heard a fatal roar. Lang Xiao, ah, quote, even the glass of the shop next door had a crack. Lin Qing swallowed his saliva subconsciously and turned back. I saw a huge woman with a peach flower on her head, wearing a low-cut dress, and it seemed that she had chest hair on her chest. Now she was moving at high speed and rushing towards Lin Qing with a fanatical look. A pair of fat legs covered with leg hair, every step on the ground would make the whole ground shake for a while. Extremely terrifying. Lin Qing felt that this meat bomb tank could kill Groudon with one foot, and he panicked at that time. Nima, little shark quicksand hell, stop her for me. Little shark Zhangzhuang also knew that he didn't dare to use skills in front of people, so he smiled and released a quicksand hell directly to Lin Qing. Then another quicksand hell trapped the three people who wanted to move forward, Sharona. Lin Qing's head was exposed. Lang Xiao, I love you. I am the lonely and lonely woman, I am willing to give myself to you. I have already booked a room, please be gentle. Quote. Xiao Taohong said as she closed her eyes and kissed Lin Qing, Mew, moi. But just when Xiao Taohong almost kissed Lin Qing disappeared on the spot, he could no longer hold back. Hidden, with a gloomy face, he came behind Xiaoxia. Sun Zer, you are quite good at playing, right? Seeing this, Xiaoxia also released Sharona and the others directly, and thought of a way out. Lin Qing looked at the dog and wanted to kill it every minute, but Xiao Taohong came again. Stay away from my husband. Otherwise, don't blame me for being rude. Sharona was annoyed and released Melodic directly, with anger. Xiao Taohong looked indignant. Haha. Your husband, why don't you take a piss to look at yourself, you are as thin as. Before Xiao Taohong finished speaking, she was knocked unconscious by Melodic's tail, and her nose was bleeding. Before she fainted, she stretched out her hand to Lin Qing, as if she was very aggrieved. Seeing that the situation was not good, the surrounding Shamat gang members threw another bag of cement as a smoke bomb and ran away. Only the man with the fishing net was left, still twisting there, addicted to twisting. Lin Qing looked at Sharona who was about to go berserk, and said with an embarrassed face, I said, it was my roundland shark who used the phone to pretend to be me to chat online, do you believe it? Quote. What do you think? Lin Qing's mind was now full of the man with the fishing net and the female meat bomb tank, and he felt sick. I didn't want to talk anymore, I just wanted to smoke a cigarette to calm down. The soul was hit hard. After Lin Qing and the others left, Xiao Taohong, who had just woken up, secretly vowed to take back her Lang Xiao. Ugly woman, dare to snatch this princess's Lang Xiao, isn't it because he has an elf? Ha, wait, I will take revenge, I will surpass you. After learning the ins and outs of the matter, Sharona also scolded Lin Qing. The reason was that when he first subdued Baby Dragon and Little Red, Lin Qing did not do a good job of ideological work for the elves, which led to a long-term grudge between Baby Dragon and Little Shark. And Lin Qing also tricked Little Shark into behaving well, so that Little Red would be good to it in the future, but Lin Qing forgot about it. Little Shark began to retaliate. And learn to steal money. Look, Sharona took them to a cafe and started to preach like a mother. You are its master and partner, you can't fight with it, you have to understand it. Guide it. Do you understand? You can't do this to it. Lin Qing was also very annoyed, looking at the little shark who was gloating on the side, he wanted to call it every minute. The little shark who succeeded in the evil plan now got what he wanted. Now Sharona released the round land shark Little Red, but Little Red didn't want to pay attention to it at all. Because the little shark is shiny, Little Red said it looks like a smurf and doesn't want to play with it. It was directly rejected. Lin Qing took the opportunity to release Baby Dragon. It seems that they are childhood sweethearts. As soon as they came out, Xiao Hong smiled and held hands. Sharona also released Melodic. When Melodic came out, Xiao Shark was scared. But Melodic has been educated by Sharona and is very good. He no longer bullies Xiao Shark. He just rubs against him with a look of love. And Lin Qing also tried to find out Xiao Hong's thoughts. It seems that she has always regarded Baby Dragon as a brother. Baby Dragon is afraid that Xiao Shark will bully his sister. Since Xiao Hong's mother passed away, Baby Dragon has taken care of her as a big brother. After Sharona talked to every elf, she looked at Lin Qing again. Okay, isn't it solved now? Xiao Shark likes Xiao Hong, let them get to know each other by themselves, and the conflict will be resolved. If I see you beating Xiao Shark again in the future, you will sleep outside at night. Do you hear me? Lin Qing nodded repeatedly and promised that he would not do it again in the future. Sharona sighed helplessly and went to the bathroom. Seeing this, Xiaoxia also raised his mouth. While Lin Qing was in a daze, he silently gathered a compressed Rasengan. Pressed directly on Lin Qing's crotch. It is not known whether Lin Qing was in pain or pleasure, tears came out. The people around looked at Lin Qing, who was covering his crotch and screaming, with a look of contempt. Children, don't look, that person is sick, the woman at the table next to her said, covering her daughter's eyes. Just when Lin Qing was about to attack, Sharona came back. At that time, he was scared and touched Xiaoxia's head with a nervous face. The father is kind and the son is filial. Sharona looked at the harmonious scene and said with relief, look, isn't this good? Lin Qing nodded repeatedly, and then used a 360-degree soul-hunting and life-threatening move on Xiaoxia's back. At that time, Xiaoxia shuddered all over, and tried to suppress his sourness, and did not dare to get angry in front of Sharona. The family spent the whole afternoon in harmony. It was soon evening, and Lin Qing thought about going back because it was getting late. Because there was a long-awaited Qingliu League tomorrow, and it was also a game that Lin Qing wanted to recruit his confidants. In the evening, Lin Qing put them all in the living room to watch TV, and he walked to the study silently. He called the Chlorophyll brothers. How is it? Has Yizime returned to the Yi family? What's the situation in the Lin mansion now? Boss, we also returned to the Yi family with Yizime, but the Yi family doesn't seem to like her very much. She should be isolated now. Your mother Huo Sha seems to have gone to Jinling City. It seems that she went to the Shi Luo family to discuss things. Master Lin seems to have not been home for a few days. We found out that he has a tryst with a female secretary named Xiao Yu every night. Is there any news about Lin Baiwei? Boss, he seems to be back in 3 days. I heard that he quit his job and will come back to help Master Lin run the family business. That's all we know now. After thinking about it, Lin Qing also smiled contemptuously. It seems that the Yi family is going to take action. Lin Tiancheng may be finished. His wife went back to her parents' home and went out to find Xiao Mi every day. It's hard not to die. Here, I'll give you a new task. Go find General Ni of Longye Company, Limited. She should have recruited a man named Mark today. She will tell you how to do it. Okay, boss. We brothers have decided not to return to Yejia village. We will follow you in the future. Just don't dislike your brothers. Well, go get busy. After hanging up the phone, Lin Qing took out a cigarette and lit it. The next plan is naturally to form his own armed forces. He has a hunch that the ghost will definitely make a big move. Before that, he needs to make a lot of preparations, and then he called Ni Union again. Appoint Mark as the captain of the guard of Longye Company, Limited tomorrow. Don't make this department public. Let him recruit 30 reliable people. These people must have elite elves, and then give them closed military training. Those who meet the standards will be rewarded with an elite elf. Also, pay attention to the Qingliu League tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. Try to recruit all the good seedlings, and recruit at least 20 trainers for me. Students with good strength can also be considered. Okay, boss, I will arrange it properly. Don't worry. After making all the arrangements, Lin Qing slowly fell into deep thought while looking at the map of Qingliu City. Then he went back to his room and went to sleep. The next morning, when the first ray of sunlight shone into Lin Qing's windowsill, he slowly opened his eyes. Looking at Sirona next to him, he felt warm in his heart. He must win this game for Nana's Togepi and for his next plan. Qingliu City League. The annual city-level competition is held at the Qingliu City Pokémon Stadium. Every year at this time, countless trainers will come after hearing the news, whether they are students, Pokémon hunters, unemployed vagrants or private unions. As long as you have elite Pokémons and the total number of Pokémons exceeds 3, you can sign up to participate. The real meaning of this competition is to welcome the provincial competition and select elite trainers who can represent Qingliu City. The winners can not only get generous rewards, but also gain great fame and can participate in provincial competitions. This year's rewards are even more generous. First place. Reward Mysterious Pokémon Togepi, 6 million Alliance Coins. Second place. Reward a Casey Egg, 4 million Alliance Coins. Third place. Reward a top-grade Water Stone, 3 million Alliance Coins. The top 8 will have the opportunity to participate in the provincial competition, and the rewards of the provincial competition will be quasi-god cubs, and every trainer will be eager to get in. This morning, many media came to the door of the club for pre-match broadcasts, and the entire Pokémon Stadium was already packed. Almost all forces have focused their attention here, including the 3 heroes of the Qingliu, the 4 major families, various Pokémon universities, private guilds, including Team Rocket, etc. Most of these forces are for recruiting powerful trainers, because in their eyes, powerful trainers are cash cows. They are also the creators of their prosperity. The Alliance will also call the local police station to maintain order, and the purpose is naturally to keep an eye on the mafia. If these trainers are killed at this time, it will definitely be a loss for the Alliance. Lin Qing has brought Sharona to the registration office. There are 20 registration desks in total, and almost every one of them has a long queue. Oh my god, there are at least 1,000 people here, right? How long will the competition end? The 2 sisters Su Tianyan, who came to act as cheerleaders, said with worry. Sharona naturally knew the rules by heart. She looked at the registration desk in front and said, basically, the preliminaries will directly eliminate most people. Even if there are 1,000 people, half of them will be eliminated quickly. This competition lasts for 2 days. If there is a delay, it may be put on the 3rd day. Lin Qing looked at the people in front with anticipation, including many older Pokémon trainers. There was a strong man with a professional-level crocodile in front, who looked like a Pokémon hunter. Nana, good morning. At this time, Mary and May also rushed over, and greeted Sharona and the others with excitement. When Mary saw Lin Qing, she subconsciously tilted her head to one side and didn't want to look at him. After the last incident, she seemed to have changed her attitude towards Lin Qing and didn't say anything about him when they met. Ah, Qing is here too. Then I really don't want to run into him during the competition, or I'll be dead if I run into him, May said with a worried look on her face. She just got her 3rd Pokémon, and the preliminary round might be a bit difficult for her. Then Lin Qing also saw more students lining up, some from their school, some from other schools, and of course the student union president Tang Yuehua among the students. Just then Lin Qing seemed to see a small stall, with a man and a woman as the stall owner, and a meow. Lin Qing laughed at that time. Sure enough, this trio would definitely come to such an occasion. Come and buy it. Commemorative coins of the Qingliu League. Only 1,000 league coins for one. Honesty. Don't miss it if you pass by. Buy now and you will get a Squirtle spray bottle, meow. Some trainers who signed up were attracted directly. Many people didn't come for the commemorative coins, but for the talking Meowth. It would definitely attract attention if you posted it on WeChat Moments. Look, that Meowth can actually talk. Are you selling your Meowth? How much? I'll pay more. Meowth looked at these trainers with an annoyed look on his face. No, no, no. Lin Qing laughed. It would be great if these 3 people would work with him. He promised to give them the best treatment. Not long after, Lin Qing also signed up. After saying something to Sharona, he walked towards Kojira's stall. They were both wearing overalls, which looked like couples' outfits. Lin Qing covered his face and turned into an uncle face, and then quietly walked over. After waiting in front of them, pretending to pick commemorative coins, he said calmly, Xiaojiro Musashi, did you catch Pikachu? Pikachu? What Pikachu? Xiaojiro responded with a puzzled look, and then was stunned. Who are you? How do you know our names? Lin Qing said calmly. It's hard to live in the rocket team. Sometimes you can't even eat. Do you want to change a company? I will give you an annual salary of 1 million. And meow meow, you three together. I will also arrange a house for you. As soon as Lin Qing finished speaking, Musashi directly raised his leg high and kicked down fiercely, kicking Lin Qing directly on the forehead. Get out. You are kidding. You must want to steal our money. Then Musashi felt something was wrong. Her foot hurts. Oh my god, it hurts. Lin Qing was not angry, and then took a business card of Ni Union and put it on their booth, saying casually, if you can't stay in the rocket team, we Longye Company Limited welcome you to at any time. Oh, by the way, let me remind you, if you meet someone named Xiaoji in the future, don't think about wasting time to catch his Pikachu. Goodbye. After Lin Qing left, Kojiro said indignantly, what? An old man is so arrogant. Will we be the kind of people who betray Boss Banmu for money? Who do we look down on? Tisk. Meow Meow took the business card of Ni Union and looked at it curiously. Longye Company Limited. Meow. It is the most prestigious company in Qingliu City this month, super rich meow. Musashi was stunned when he heard it, and immediately snatched it and looked at it for a long time. Lin Qing, who was retreating, suddenly remembered something. He looked back at Kojiro and was immediately shocked after telepathy. Izabaki. Izabaki also in Qingliu City. Could it be because? Could it be that Banmu came for the ghost? This possibility cannot be ruled out. While Lin Qing was still thinking, Sharona and the others came over, and they had obviously signed up. My husband left, and the preliminary round will start soon. Yes, it's coming. Lin Qing took out his mobile phone and sent a message to Ni Union, asking him to build a tunnel under his house within 5 days, and a train was needed in case of emergency. Then he followed Sharona and the others to the entrance of the gymnasium. There were so many people that it was almost impossible to squeeze in. It was like the scene at the Spring Festival railway station, there were too many contestants. As soon as he entered the stadium, Lin Qing saw that the huge venue had been divided into 20 small arenas for today's preliminary round. At this time, the host standing on the stage held the microphone and shouted excitedly, welcome all talented trainers to participate in Qingliu City's annual city-level league. The first round of preliminary rounds is in the morning. A total of 1,000 trainers. Use 1 Pokémon to fight. Win a game to enter the second round of preliminary rounds in the afternoon. 250 players will be selected today. For tomorrow's semi-finals and finals. Let's wait and see. Lin Qing looked at the entry card he had just registered and got, with a thoughtful look on his face. What's wrong, husband? You seem to be a little worried today. Sharona next to him seemed to see something and asked with some concern. No, it's okay. Let's go. I'm going to the number 8 ring to wait, come on. After Lin Qing finished speaking, he smiled faintly and walked towards his competition ring. Sharona looked at him with some concern. Was it because she was too strict with him? Let's go, Sister Nana. I'm on the number 5 competition ring. Come on, come on. Mary shouted while waving her hands as she walked. Soon, the 20 arenas were filled with contestants, and the audience seats were gradually filled with people. Lin Qing had already seen the 3 heroes of Qingliu and the ghost. Why didn't the ghost have that terrifying pressure today? He was like a very kind person, greeting the people around him, and a TV reporter was interviewing him and the other 2 heroes. Welcome the elites from all walks of life in Qingliu City. The competition will start soon. This competition will be broadcast live by Qingliu TV. There will also be an online live broadcast room. If you want to get the Qingliu City League commemorative coins, please participate in the online voting. Choose your favorite trainer. Don't trust the vendors outside. Only the official products are commemorative. Well, let's wait and see. After the host finished speaking, 2 people and a cat in the audience said in unison, Tisk. Who are you looking down on? Ours is the authentic one. Lin Qing was lucky, he was ranked first to go on stage. When he got on the stage, he looked at the muscular man opposite him and felt a chill. He was too strong, and that guy was only wearing boxer briefs, his muscles were shiny, and those muscles could move. His chest muscles were shaking, and I guess his chest size was at least F. Boy, I'm Kota Saburo. Do you want to have muscles like me? Show your courage. Go, weird power. Use your enthusiasm to help me win this first victory. A high-level elite weird power was released with a high spirit, and there was a gold belt around his waist. Ah, weird power. As soon as weird power came out, he imitated Kota Saburo to show off his muscles. Sure enough, the elves all follow their masters. Lin Qing also knew that everyone in the first game would choose their strongest elves to avoid being eliminated. Lin Qing took out a fireball and said excitedly, "Charmer, it's time to prove your strength. Go. Ah, use Qi gathering, run." The opponent also launched an offensive directly, trying to gain the first-hand advantage. When Charmer saw that the opponent was actually a strange force, his fighting spirit soared. He remembered that there was a man named Mark who used strange force to abuse him every day, and his eyes were full of fighting spirit. Charmer, use smoke. After Lin Qing finished speaking, Charmer was covered by a ball of black smoke. Strange force, use empty-handed chop. Disperse this group of smoke that blocks us. As long as there is light in your heart, this flame vortex. Before the man finished speaking, a huge ball of flames was ejected from the smoke, and then a circle of blazing flame vortexes covered the smoke. Strange force suddenly stopped, looking at the fiercely burning flame vortex with a serious face, and he would definitely be burned if he hit it. Kota Saburo looked solemn. The boy opposite him seemed to have a very experienced fighting consciousness. Knowing that the monster does not have any long-range attack capabilities, this style of play is obviously intended to wear it down through long-range attacks. Monster. Use rockfall. Lin Qing smiled slightly. This time he won. Lin Qing did not give any orders, and the Charmeleon directly sprayed flames out, with a deafening sound. The rockfall was directly disintegrated by the sprayed flames, hitting the monster, and it was obviously hurt a lot. Monster. Hold on, dodge, jump to the sky and use. Before he finished speaking, the opponent's second round of sprayed flames burst over. Monster loses combat ability. The winner is Lin Qing. Kota Saburo took back the monster with a look of unwillingness. He knew that the opponent's level was higher than his, but he did not expect that the opponent's elf could judge the situation and release skills by himself. This combat awareness. This situation was also expected by Lin Qing. Although the little shark was a headache and naughty every day, its combat talent was indeed very strong. During the daily special training, almost every elf had practiced with it. After being abused by Xiaoxia's various magical operations, they also slowly learned some basics. This ability to judge the situation alone can be said to be what many people dream of. In this way, Lin Qing took the lead in completing the first round of preliminary competitions in the morning. He looked at the surrounding competition arena again. It was obvious that he was the fastest to complete the group. It is estimated that Sharona and the others have not yet come on stage. Appeared. Currently, 6 contestants have won the championship. Wonderful, it is really wonderful. The competition has only started for 10 minutes and it has ended. Now the online voting function is turned on. Friends who want to get mysterious prizes, please go to the online live broadcast room and vote for your favorite contestant. Lin Qing looked at the time. It should be 3 hours before noon. He can take time to see those contestants who are willing to join his Longye shares. Husband, you are awesome, it's over so soon. Su Qinyan and Su Tianyan ran over with joy with the juice they just bought. Lin Qing was slightly delighted. My dears, go and cheer Nana and the others up. I'm going to the bathroom, be good. Okay, then let's go find Sister Nana, and you can come find us later, husband. Lin Qing nodded happily and walked to the audience seats at the back. There were already 3 people in the audience seats who noticed Lin Qing. Lin Qing's father Lin Tiancheng, Qingliu Longji Huo Wu, and Ni Yunyan. Lin Tiancheng has been doing very well recently. These 2 days, his 2 wives are not at home, and he and his mistress play landlord every day. But he still has some ideas. He has considered asking his 2 sons to come back to help him run the family business. Thinking that he is getting old, he can let his sons have fun. And Huo Wu naturally wants to invite this boy named Lin Qing to join their organization. She has been paying attention to him for a long time since the last time the Elf Academy saw him. Seeing Lin Qing win the competition, she was also very impressed that he had a professional level elf at such a young age. After Ni Yunyan thought of Lin Qing's explanation, she directly issued a notice in the company's management, asking the staff to take the gifts to the elimination area to recruit those trainers to join their Longye Company, Limited, and then conduct screening. After the live broadcast room started, because the company's management had seen Sharona but not Lin Qing, they all knew that Sharona was their shareholder. At the beginning of the game, Sharona became the most popular person in the live broadcast room, and many people swiped her screen. The live broadcast room also swiped. Sharona will win. Sharona will win. Sharona is so popular. Are you here to watch the game or the beauty? Sharona is my wife. Life is not easy. My wife has to perform. Please show your ugliness. I know you, idiot. When will you pay me back? And Lin Qing's popularity is obviously not as high as Sharona's. Even the online betting has nothing to do with him. Many people have bet on Sharona, and she is not as popular as Tang Yuehua, the president of the student union. As soon as Lin Qing came to the audience, Huo Wu and others blocked him. Huo Wu said excitedly, "Second Master Lin, I have heard of your name for a long time. I am Huo Wu from the Second Dragon Hall. I came here for you today. I didn't expect that after not seeing you for a few days, Second Master Lin's strength has increased a lot." For me, Lin Qing was slightly stunned, but soon understood. I want to invite Mr. Lin to join our Dragon Hall too. Talents like you are what we dream of. If you join, I will give Mr. Lin 1 million alliance coins and a piece of top-grade dragon stone. Huo Wu took out a crystal-clear dragon stone as she spoke, obviously prepared. If I guess correctly, Mr. Lin's round land shark will evolve soon, right? Lin Qing also laughed. Actually, I want to ask, if I want to invite Miss Huo Wu to join our Lin family, how much money can I pay? The follower of Huo Wu next to him was immediately unhappy, and was stopped by Huo Wu just as he was about to refute. Huo Wu took back the dragon stone awkwardly and said, "Sorry, I am so abrupt. I really want to invite you. I know you are very interested in dragon elves. To be honest, I am from Dragon Island. I believe that Mr. Lin has heard of the Dragon Island trial, right?" Lin Qing had never heard of it before. He quietly began to test the other party's thoughts. The Dragon Island trial is held once every 3 years. Passing the trial on the island can obtain dragon elves or dragon secret treasures. And almost all the people on Dragon Island are fanatical fans of dragon elves. If you invite me to participate in the Dragon Island trial, I can consider it. Miss Huo Wu, I still don't like to join any organization. If you are interested, you can come to our house and sit down, I will also welcome you. Lin Qing left silently after speaking. Huo Wu looked at this person unwillingly, and then looked at Sharona in the competition field. If he persuaded his wife Sharona, would it be? And Sharona in the field finally ushered in her first game. The opponent is a female student, who seems to have big breasts and no brains. The elf she uses is Sanshru. The people in the live broadcast room also swiped the screen when they came to this. Such a good figure, explosive. Bleeding. Sharona is sorry, I want to surrender to the enemy. I surrender to Sanshru. Sharona laughed at the elite Sanshru. Once entering the battle, Sharona would habitually put one hand on her waist, full of confidence, like a different person. Sanshru uses rolling. Keep a distance and turn first. Instantly, the Sanshru started to turn, like a huge yo-yo. Ice Elf, freeze ray after blizzard. After Sharona's command, her ice elf directly released a large range. The blizzard was surrounding the venue, and the temperature in the venue was obviously much lower. Even the Sandrat girl on the opposite side was shivering with her arms covered. After the Sandrat in the venue entered the attack range of the blizzard, its speed obviously slowed down. Then the ice elf used a very fast freezing ray to freeze the Sandrat into an ice sculpture. Ah, my Sandrat. The girl collapsed on the ground, and her figure was so beautiful that the men in the live broadcast room had nosebleeds. I'll pay 200. I want all the information about this woman within an hour. Tisk, it must be fake. You are a woman upstairs, right? No need to ask, you must be flat. You are just jealous. Ha ha ha, my wife Sharona won. My wife Sharona won. I'll report it back. Then the referee also raised the flag and said, Sandrat has lost his ability to fight, the winner of this game is Sharona. Lin Qing also came to the elimination area. The failed contestants were handing over their work cards to the staff, and each contestant who failed could also receive a commemorative coin made of pure gold. Lin Qing was still thinking about recruiting a few people, but now it seems unnecessary. Ni Union is leading a team of people, handing out business cards one by one. Ni Union also saw Lin Qing, but she also knew that she couldn't get too close to her boss outside. Her boss didn't like to show up. Lin Qing also appreciated Ni Union's approach. He invited every contestant and then screened them. Naturally, the work efficiency would be faster than searching alone. Lin Qing subconsciously tried to find out what Ni Union was thinking. He had not yet understood this confidant. But when he started the telepathic communication, he laughed out of anger. In Ni Union's mind, Huo Sha was Lin Qing's mistress, so he gave her 10% of the shares. The reason why Lin Qing didn't want to show up was because he was afraid that his wife, Sharona, would know that he had a mistress. However, Ni Union was very sincere, and Lin Qing was very sure of this. After all, she was promoted directly from a newcomer, and she worked very hard. The morning passed quickly, and Mary and Mei also won the first round of the preliminary round. Lin Qing also bought a bag of juice and ice cream. He knew that Sharona must want one at this time. If she was asked to buy it after the game, she didn't know when she would be able to choose it in the ice cream shop. 500 people should be eliminated in the morning today, and the afternoon game will be more difficult. 3 elves are needed to fight, and they cannot be replaced in the middle. Only more than 200 people will be left to participate in tomorrow's semifinals. Mary said to Mei next to her with a serious face, and the moment Sharona saw the ice cream, she licked it, slurp, slurp, regardless of what they said. Then the group came to a buffet restaurant to discuss the precautions and combat skills for the afternoon game. Mei was thinking of asking Lin Qing to help her with some ideas. Ah Qing, can you help me look at my Pokémon? I'm so panicked. I have to use 3 in the afternoon, and I don't know what tactics to use yet. Sister Sharona, can you help me too? You are so awesome. Sharona looked at this sunny and energetic girl seriously and smiled brightly. My Pokémon is an elite level vine snake, an elite level baby ball mushroom, and an elite level shuttlecock cotton. After taking a look, Lin Qing began to think. If this pure grass lineup meets the fire type, it is bound to be a tough battle. If you want to win steadily, you must have a joint defense. Moreover, her level is not high, and there is no professional level. After thinking for a while, Lin Qing also gave a conclusion. It's best to use Pokémon first, use rooting and endurance to establish an early advantage, and then continuously release sweet fragrance throughout the field to reduce the opponent's dodge. If possible, release poison, and you can almost take one away. And the shuttlecock cotton can be put in the second appearance, using the sweet fragrance left in the field in the previous game. Directly use the fairy wind to blow it to the opponent to reduce the opponent's evasion, and then use a trick of sleeping powder. If the front goes well, there should be no problem with the vine snake as the main force to finish. What needs to be noted in this lineup is that there must be sweet fragrance in the field all the time, or other powder skills, released multiple times. Even if it falls on the ground, it's okay. Use the extremely fast shuttlecock cotton to blow those on the ground to the opponent, which will definitely give the opponent a surprise. Sharona next to her was also slightly stunned. It was the first time she heard Lin Qing's insights on the strategic layout of the elves, and she looked at him a little incredible. Wow, Ah Qing, you are so amazing, I didn't even think of using their skills together. Mei looked like she had suddenly realized something, and she looked very happy. After hearing this, Mary wanted Lin Qing to talk to her. She also wanted to win, but she couldn't speak. She had to rely on herself. Sharona looked at Lin Qing with a playful look and said, Master Lin, what about me? How do you think my elves should defend together? Lin Qing smiled softly, you are so awesome, I may not be able to beat you. Can you ask me for advice? Were you too tired last night? Baby. Sharona was stunned when she heard this. Was she too tired yesterday? Will you tell me, how can I, Ice Elf, Land Shark, and Melodic defend together? Lin Qing took a sip of the drink with a helpless look on his face and said, I'll give you 3 words. Get out of the way. What do you mean? Lin Qing looked at Sharona with a playful look, with a smirk on his face. When the opponent releases a skill, you just shout to get out of the way. That's it. This is a magical skill, don't pretend to be a noob, just go all out to kill the opponent and you'll win. Oh, Sharona looked at Lin Qing with a bad face, I'm also weak, okay. The 3 people next to him were all black. Excuse me. In the afternoon, it was finally the second round of the preliminary round. As soon as Lin Qing arrived at the door, he saw the 3 great gods again, Kojira, Musashi, and Meow Meow. In the morning, the host said that the commemorative coins outside were pirated, so they changed their business and now sell figures. Come on. The most popular Sharona figurine. 2,000 alliance coins each. No cheating. Come on. Lin Qing also laughed. These 3 people. Sister Nana, there's a figurine of you for sale over there. Why don't you go take a look? Mei said excitedly. Sharona was naturally interested. The figurine was out. But when they arrived at the stall, everyone was stunned. The figurine was made of plasticine and was extremely ugly. It was fat, round, and chubby, like a big-headed doll. Lin Qing was already laughing so hard that he almost choked. He saw the back that Meow Meow was clumsily kneading plasticine with Goran Wang while looking at Sharona's photo. Hey, that kid over there, what are you laughing at? This is an official figurine. 100% real-life reproduction. Musashi yelled angrily. No, I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing at the coconut tree over there saying it's a dragon, I can't hold it back. Just then, Sharona's cheeks were slightly red, and she excitedly took a figurine with a victory sign and said, so, cute. I'll buy it. Mary and May were both upset. This figurine looks like Jigglypuff, cute. Is this probably a misunderstanding of cuteness? Afterwards, Sharona paid the money and left with them. At this time, Kojira seemed to react, oh my god. Meow Meow next to him was startled. Why are you screaming? I crushed Sharona's head. That woman seems to be Sharona. After Lin Qing and the others arrived at the competition venue, they quickly found their competition ring. There were obviously fewer contestants this afternoon than in the morning. Dear audience friends, the second round of preliminary competition will start soon. Please wait and see. Please find your respective competition ring according to your number plate. The staff will arrange the draw to determine the order of appearance. Let's start. Let's give the contestants the most enthusiastic applause. For a while, the applause was thunderous. Lin Qing also came to his number 8 ring, thinking about the battle plan later with a thoughtful look on his face. This Latius is definitely not suitable to be released. This is a second-level god, and he doesn't want to cause trouble. Although Xiaoxia is a bit naughty, he is still reliable in the competition. However, if you want this guy to give his all, you have to stimulate him. Stimulate him. Lin Qing thought of Xiao Taohong at that time. Then he shook his head frantically. He wanted to change Xiaoxia's thinking and influence him with his love. But at this moment, a large group of shamats suddenly came to the audience, led by Xiao Taohong. The voice was like a loudspeaker and roared directly, Lang Xiao. Lang Xiao will win. Since Xiao Taohong was defeated last time, she has unified the entire shamat world by herself, and the royal family has also joined in. In the morning, when she was watching TV, she accidentally saw the Lang Xiao she had always dreamed of. This afternoon, she brought a large group of people to support her dream lover. Among them was the charming man wearing fishnet stockings and high heels. Lang Xiao, look at me, I just learned a new era dance. The fishnet man said and danced on the stage, holding his head with both hands, and twisted the big pendulum. The armpit hair in his armpits was like 2 huge dog tails, swinging back and forth. In an instant, all the audience around were shocked by this breath of suffocating smell. The word may no longer be used to describe the man in front of him, it is a compliment to him. The kid drinking juice next to him was so scared that he dared not move. Mom, I'm scared. Security, security, there's a dead she-male here. It's so spicy, it's so spicy, it's blinding, take her away quickly, otherwise, I'll refund my ticket. My eyes. The old man closest to the man with the fishing net vomited directly. Lin Qing in the audience was confused and silently said in his heart, you can't see me, you can't see me. Dear audience, the game has begun. Lin Qing also readjusted his thoughts. He had already felt the hostility of the players around him. Today was the day to decide whether he could enter the semifinals. Everyone regarded the other party as an enemy. Lin Qing was in the middle of the game and had to wait for a while. Mei's game started. She was the first one to go on the stage. Hello, I'm Mei. Please give me your advice. Mei bowed to the other party as soon as she came on stage. The man opposite was also slightly stunned. He had fought with others so many times, but this was the first time he met such a cute and polite girl. I am Hongli. Please, teach me more. Go, Charmander. A spirited elite Charmander stood on the stage and howled, as if in protest. Mei staggered directly. What she feared was really coming true. Calm down, calm down. You will definitely win if you listen to Hawking. Definitely. Go, Pokémon. Use Root. Hongli was stunned when he heard the words. Why did he send a grass-type Pokémon up? Is this woman all grass-type? Girl, I'm sorry. Charmander uses Spark. Pokémon uses Guard and then releases Patience. The Spark attack has already hit, and it hits the bull's eye. But it was resolved by Pokémon's Guard. Hong Lei was slightly stunned. It was obvious that he wanted to fight a protracted battle by using Root right away. However, the skill of holding would become ineffective after a few uses at most. Even if this endurance could rebound the damage received within 2 rounds, Charmander was not afraid of his own fire at all. Charmander, keep using Sparks. Mei held another Pokémon tightly and said seriously, use Hold. Use Sweet Aroma continuously. Although Sweet Aroma was released, the opponent was also quite flexible, and the distance was far, so it could not be hit at all. Hong Lei looked puzzled, and was also stunned when he looked at the Pokémon that kept releasing Sweet Aroma in the field. Could this girl want to block Charmander with this? Charmander, use Slam. Close range Sparks. It is impossible for it to hold every time. Pokémon, use Sweet Aroma again. The Charmander rushed over with a serious face. Even if the Sweet Aroma hit it, it was not afraid. It's over, lovely girl. Just when Charmander was about to release Sparks to attack, the Pokémon was actually taken back by the opponent. Hongli was stunned, and then asked in confusion, Girl, if you change Pokémon in this preliminary round, it will be considered a failure. Mei knew it. She took it back to prevent Pokémon from making unnecessary sacrifices. She still had to participate in the semifinals tomorrow, and Pokémon had released Sweet Fragrance 4 or 5 times in a row, and Charmander had been hit by a layer. Mission accomplished. Go, Shuttlecock Cotton. Use Sleep Powder. Hongli secretly said that it was not good. The speed of this Shuttlecock Cotton was extremely fast. Many trainers would catch a powerful Pokémon to sleep in the wild, and his Charmander had been hit by a layer of Sweet Fragrance, and there was a high probability that it could not be avoided. Charmander, quickly release Sparks around yourself to dissolve. Charmander was hit by a ball of sleeping powder before he could even open his mouth. It was too fast. He was a little dazed. Jonmian uses Slam. Just when Charmander was about to fall asleep, Jonmian dropped from the sky and the Charmander flew out. Charmander out of bounds. Jonmian wins. Hongli looked unwilling. This fire type obviously has an advantage. How could it lose? It was too aggrieved. Charmander still had the ability to fight, and looked disappointed outside the field. Come back, Charmander. You've worked hard. Then the second Pokémon was released, an elite Charmander. Girl, you're smart, but that's it. Charmander uses Taunt. The skill of Taunt allows the opponent to only release attack skills, such as Sleep Powder and those skills that enhance their own attributes, all of which cannot be used, and the Pokémon provoked by his Charmander can't run away. Charmander uses Ram Attack. The opponent can't run away. Hongli roared with confidence. He was sure that the last one on the other side was a grass type, and he won today. Mei's eyes were tense. She saw the accelerated little fire monkey rushing over. However, when she saw the little fire monkey running into the Sweet Fragrance dust, her eyes flickered. It's now, Shuttlecock Cotton. Use Fairy Wind. Then use Acrobatics to fly up to the sky to get out of the provocation range. The other party was stunned when he heard the words. Fairy Wind is a skill with weak attack. But then he was stupid. The target of Fairy Wind was the Sweet Fragrance on the ground. The Sweet Fragrance in the venue was blown up again. The little fire monkey was directly covered. And Shuttlecock Cotton, who had already flown to the sky and used acrobatic attacks to resolve the provocation, crashed down directly. The little fire monkey suffered a little damage, but the effect was average. It's now, Shuttlecock Cotton uses Sleep Powder. Little fire monkey dodge. But Shuttlecock Cotton's speed was too fast, and the Sweet Fragrance had covered the little fire monkey. The tragedy happened again. The little fire monkey was knocked out of the boundary after being put to sleep. Hong Lei was extremely frustrated. This girl is so smart. She started planning in the first round. Hong Lei's eyes turned cold, and he took out his natal spirit. Your luck is over. Girl, I leave it to you. Houndoom, use jet flames on the field. Burn all those powders to ashes. A huge Houndoom rushed out directly, and swept across the stage with jet flames. In an instant, the sweet fragrance in the field was burned out. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.